Court is in session, a verdict is in. No appeal on the docket today, just my own sin. The walls cold and pale, the cage made of steel. Screams fill the room, Lord, I drop and kneel. Silence now the sound, my breath the only motion around. Demons cluttering around, my face showing no emotion. Shackled by my sentence, expecting no return. Here there is no penance, my skin begins to burn.
So I held my head up high, hiding hate that burns inside. Zoning fuels their selfish pride. All held captive out from the sun, the sun that shines on only some. We don't make our only one.
I hear a thunder in the distance, see a vision of a cross. I feel the pain that was given on a sad day of loss. A lion rolls in the darkness, only he holds a key. A light to free me from my burden and grant me life eternally. Should have been there on a Sunday morning, banging my head. No time for mourning, ain't got no time. Should have been there on a Sunday morning, banging my head. No time for mourning, ain't got no time.
So I held my head up high, hiding hate that burns inside. So it fuels their selfish pride. All held captive out from the sun that shines on only some. We don't make our only one.
I cry out to God, seeking only His decision. Cable standing confirms I create my own prison. I cry out to God, seeking only His decision. Cable standing confirms I create my own prison.
So I held my head up high, hiding hate that burns inside. So it fuels their selfish pride. All held captive out from the sun that shines on only some. We don't make our only one. So I held my head up high, hiding hate that burns inside. So it fuels their selfish pride.
I created,
All held
I created,
captive out from
I
the
created,
sun that
I
shines on only
I
some.
created,
We don't
I
make
created
our
my own prison. Should have been there on a Sunday morning, banging my head. No time for mourning, ain't got no time.
angry because she was driving a Tesla.
I was thankfully by myself.
Lee was on the way to a doctor's appointment in Linwood Wednesday morning when she says all of a sudden, the driver behind her just laid on the horn as they came up to a red light. Things spiraled out of control when a white SUV followed her and cut her off, stopping in the middle of the road.
Gets out and walks straight up to my window. So I crack my window and I said, what is the problem? And he goes, you need to sell your car. This is a Nazi car. You're driving it. You need to sell your car.
Lee says she's been driving a Tesla for the last 2 years. She says the man wearing a camouflage jacket and a ski mask attacked her for it.
It's really sad, like, that this is what's happening to people who honestly, it doesn't affect how I believe or what I believe. Just the car I drive. Being in Seattle, it was climate's important, our footprint's important. This seemed like the right move for our very busy family.
This, however, isn't the first incident or act of vandalism reported. We've seen attack after attack after attack. Teslas set ablaze at the Las Vegas Service Center earlier this week, with the culprit leaving behind the word resist. In Oregon, shots were fired at a dealership, and in Massachusetts, charging stations were torched. These incidents have only intensified since CEO Elon Musk has taken a prominent role in the Trump administration while slashing government jobs and spending.
Felt so intentional, felt exactly what he was there to do.
There was even a website, now taken down, sharing the personal information of Tesla owners to pressure them to sell their vehicles.
If it was to align with what we thought, that it's easy to just, turn over a $60,000 car and find something new that works. That's not a decision that everybody can make overnight. And I think that puts a lot of us in a hard position.
Now, since May confronted, Lee says that she started taking the highways in order to feel more visible and avoid those back road stop signs. At the same time, though, she also tells me that she's made several reports regarding this incident. We're waiting to hear back if this individual is going to be facing any consequences. In Seattle, Alejandra Guzman.
You just keep getting worse by the day. You're your own worst enemy. I saw something before I started this, and I thought, wow, Trump shouldn't have done that. That was a mistake. That was a real mistake, deporting the Cubans, or possibly deporting Cubans. They vote for Trump, so I don't think that's a smart political move. But then I saw this, and I said, well, who can even talk about that? Who even cares? Democrats are terrorizing random citizens for the cars they drive. Democrats are unhinged. They're on the verge of killing someone for driving a Tesla. You motherfuckers are so dumb that you don't realize that nobody can focus on anything Trump's really doing because you're busy fucking terrorizing the community. And you're flipping out about violent lunatics getting sent to CCOT and all this shit. And people, what the fuck can anybody worry about deporting some Cubans? Who's got time to worry about that? This poor woman's like, I just can't sell my car. I just can't sell my car. How about instead of selling your fucking car, you quit voting for lunatic liberals and you put these motherfuckers in prison? Send a couple of them to CCOT, make a little video of them. I'm telling you, that'll be the end of this shit real fucking fast. Send every violent lunatic liberal right to CCOT. You get out of your fucking car, run up to somebody's Tesla and start screaming they're a Nazi, right to CCOT. I don't care if you hit the car. I don't give a fuck. If you get out of your car and start yelling and shit, you should go right to CCOT for a year. They should just ship your ass out of here, and they should make a video of it. And then when they get violent over that video, right to CCOT you go. How many motherfuckers gotta go? Sit in CCOT for a year before you get the fucking clue that we ain't tolerating it. This guy here, right to CCOT. Right to CCOT. Get him out of here. Who needs him? Who does that? And I don't want to hear about freedom and all this. I don't want to hear about it. Because I done seen none of you motherfuckers care about freedom. You're not using my morals against me. You're done. Don't you get it? You're done. You are a bunch of dorks You don't have any beliefs whatsoever anyway, so you don't get to use nothing. You don't get to bring none of that up. Because it didn't matter during COVID. It's never mattered to you till now. When you don't have power, then it matters so much. We need freedom of speech for violent lunatics. Why can't you stand on a college campus and go, death to America? Well, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why you can't do that. Because you couldn't stand on the same campus and preach against a vaccine. You couldn't do none of that. Oh no, get this guy out of here. Lock him up, put a mask on him. There's tons of shit y'all said nobody could stand out in the street and fucking protest for. Y'all wanted people banned off all kinds of shit. Shut the fuck up about it. I don't want to hear about no free speech. Fuck you. You wanted a war, you got it. Now you're losing. You're getting dominated. So now you're going to violence. I said you would do that because you're predictable as fuck. Now you're resorting to terrorism and violence. And you'll fail at that too because you're dumb. You're a bunch of fucking loser dorks. And eventually people are going to get tired of you coming up to their fucking Tesla. You're going to walk up to the wrong fucking Tesla is what you're going to do. And some guy's going to get out and ragdoll you against the fucking cement and snap your spine. And then you'll be crying, how could he do that? Oh, you've been terrorizing people for months. But the moment some dude gets out of his car, the moment you go up, start banging on somebody's window, and Brock Lesnar steps out of it and just picks you up, I'm not going to shoot you with a gun. He's going to pick you up and fucking ragdoll you against the concrete and snap you like a twig. I'd rather get shot. Because that slam on the concrete is going to be, you're going to be feeling that for a while. You might be in a wheelchair after that one. You could get shot and get back up and be all right. Depends on where you get shot, but you get slammed on the concrete. It's coming. Remember that one woman that ran up to that guy's car was like, ah! And the guy got out. He hit it. She hit him, and he just turned around and was like, bam, ragdolled on the cement. They'll never be the same. They'll never be the same after that. And that's what's going to happen to you. Keep walking other people's cars and shit. People are lunatics, burning charging stations and shit. CCOT is where you belong, and I hope you go there. If I see Trump, I'm telling you, I see a video of them pulling you off a plane, I'm knocking on doors. I might move to a swing state and dedicate my life like Scott Presley. If I see one of you dorks getting pulled off that plane in El Salvador, getting your fucking head shaved, crying, you'll be crying like a bitch, dude. That's how I know these are real gangsters in these videos that I see, because they're not crying. These dudes ain't crying and shit. These are hardened criminals. And they've been to a lot of prisons, I bet. So this is just another place they're at now. They're in El Salvador. Like, what the fuck? These are illegals from other countries. They've been all over fucking committing crimes all over the world. And Trump was like, nah, we're not going to keep them in our prison than pay for them. Fuck that. We'll send them to El Salvador. Because it's cheaper to pay to send them to El Salvador than keep them here. Genius idea by the Bukele, whatever his name is. Bukele. Genius idea. And I bet he does go down there at 3 a.m, walk up and down the cell block and look at them motherfuckers. I would. Shit talk them too. That one guy's like, he's gonna leave. He's got to leave in 2029. Yeah, I bet he does. You'll be in CCOT. Hush. You're like, the guy that fixed everything's got to go. What is wrong with people? People are retarded. They're like, that guy came in, fixed everything, but he can't stay forever. Well, shit, I'd keep him forever. Why won't the next guy be a retard? Next guy might let them all out of CCOT. So I'll just take this guy. These elections don't seem to be working out. You elect Joe Biden, destroys everything. I don't think these dumb fuck liberals realize. They keep going, there might not be another election. Trump might rule forever. Who cares? Don't you realize nobody cares? You people are insane. Nobody wants you to ever hold power again. I'd rather Republicans rule the rest of my life than deal with you again. You don't know what you're doing. You're terrible. And no wonder you like terrorism, you like gang members and shit. Hell, you're committing terrorism right now over elections and shit. Over fucking Doge cutting fucking some gives a fuck. You people are dumb. There was people on Social Security. They were 120 years old, and they just deleted them. They were like, "Nah, no more checks for these 120-year-olds." Liberals were like, "Oh, grandmama's check, grandmama's check." There ain't no 120-year-old grandmamas getting a check. You retards, it's fraud. It's clear fraud. And they're like, "No, no, no." Meanwhile, in New York, that Hochul's cutting like 100,000 people's insurance, bunch of old ladies in wheelchairs and shit. Nobody gives a shit. They don't care. I'm on to you nerds. You nerds don't give a shit about nothing. You just, it's wrong with you, really. There really something wrong. You treat politics like football or something, like sports. It's fucking weird. Like, you're not even thinking straight. You're just like, we gotta win. We gotta win. What are you winning, though? Every time they get in power, there's a shit show. What did you win? You don't win shit with Biden. What did Biden do for you? Not a goddamn thing. But fuck things up. What are you winning? You're too caught up in it. We gotta win. We gotta win. If Trump just fucking blows the next 4 years, it's just a shit show. I'm not gonna be like, yeah, JD Vance, get him in there. I mean, what? He's a vice fucking president. If it's a shit show, if it's worse than Joe Biden, who the fuck wants JD Vance? Certainly not gonna go back to a Democrat. Don't you Democrats realize you're done? You're terrorizing the community. Who would want you? You're fucking nuts. Oh yeah, we're gonna put you back in power so you can. God knows what you'll do. God knows what you'll do. No thanks. I'm sure people driving down the road. I'm sure getting out of your car screaming at some Tesla owner really gonna get him to vote for fucking whoever you're gonna run. I don't even know who you're gonna run. You ain't got nobody. They ran a poll. AOC is the leader of the party. I told you that months ago. AOC, that's their leader. What a joke. She ain't leading nobody. You don't let women lead. Women aren't leaders. Get over it. Stop trying to go against reality and nature. You don't even see that in animals. So what the fuck are you talking about? Then you'll find one like species, be like, well, this species here. Just shut up, guy. It's so dumb. You're not getting any pussy that way either. Stop doing it. Stop throwing men under the bus to try to get some pussy. You don't get pussy anyway. You're a fucking virgin loser. You can never get no pussy. You're an insult. Male feminist insult. That's why these motherfuckers rape women. That's why they're more likely to rape because they're feminist insults. Women don't want them. Women don't want some feminist guy. It's not what they want. So what the fuck? Just trying to get some goddamn pussy. That's all he's trying to do. That's all you nerds are trying to do. So you're like, yeah, let women, let them lead us into battle. What? That don't even make sense. Women lead us into battle. Women on the front lines. Think about that. Women on the front lines battling men in warfare. That's insanity, man. That's the crazy. That shouldn't even be allowed. That should be illegal for women. Women should not be on the front lines. Women should not be in combat roles. Get over it. They shouldn't be. That's so. And any man that says they should is a loser man, quite frankly. Any man that's like, nah, send the woman, I'll stay, is a pussy. Like, you're not a man. You can't call yourself a man at all. When you're like, when you're saying women, I'm not saying women can't play a role somewhere in the military, but they can't be in combat fighting men on a battlefield. That's crazy. Just how easy it is to overpower a woman. Like, come on, man. You're talking about big giant soldier motherfuckers out there. They're gonna destroy her. And it's warfare, so you got certain rules of warfare. You're gonna have rapes. You're gonna have all that shit going on because it's war. It's chaos, complete chaos. People are killing each other in a field, and you don't think somebody's gonna get raped? There's probably men getting raped by other fucking men out there, and you're putting women out there in the middle of it. What in the world? You're putting women out there with men who have nothing to lose because they're days away from dying anyway. They could die at any moment. They have nothing to lose. They're unhinged. They've seen complete atrocities. Their brains are fucked. And you're throwing women out there in the middle of that. And then when somebody goes, I don't think you should put women out there, that's misogyny. Well, then I'm a misogynist. Who gives a fuck? Who cares about your little buzzwords and your little terms? I've never cared about any of these things. You're a loser guy defending women fighting in wars. Ukraine's got women out there battling right. I seen it the other day. Some woman out there with a bloody nose, just like, she looked like she was dazed. Like, what the fuck? It's bad enough you see a bitch working at Arby's and, like an attractive woman at Arby's. You're like, why are you here? I don't even understand it. But when you see one on a battlefield, that's even more confusing. What are you doing here? Why are you here? Like, shouldn't you be somewhere on a yacht sucking some rich guy's dick? Isn't that better than this? I mean, damn. Seems better than this. I mean, there's a lot of guys in here, Mike. If it was go to the Ukrainian front lines and die, or go to this yacht for the night, you might go to the yacht too. Much less a woman. It's not even gay for you. Go to the yacht. But no, she's on a battlefield. And then you think about how she's got more courage than a guy like Elliot, who's defending the war every day. We got to have a war. We got to fight Russia. And he won't even go. He won't enlist. But this woman, this blonde, this hot blonde, is on the battlefield fighting Russian men. Nose all busted up. And Elliot's like, oh, I don't know. I don't work too hard at work. I just kind of slack off. And then he's like, it's bullshit. I make minimum wage. Like, I don't even listen to themselves. You just slack off at work all day and they pay you like shit. Of course they do. You're lucky they pay you anything. You're lucky they don't fire you. If I had my way, you'd be out of the door. I wouldn't want to work with you. Lazy son of a bitch. You don't do nothing. And you goddamn right, I'd complain about you. The boss asked me about you, I'd say, it fucking sucks. I don't lie. Guys, why? Why would I want to pick up your slack? Picking up your fucking slack. I'm in here working. Why ain't you? Hell with you. Slow. I only make minimum wage. Admit work. What is this obsession with getting a job and getting mad about having to work? I don't understand it. What do you think it was? People live in like a fantasy world where they want to like make money doing nothing. It doesn't work like that. Why don't I have a mad at like Elon Musk or somebody? That guy works way harder than you could ever dream. You'd fucking lose your mind if you had to work the hours he works. So they got to mind fuck themselves into somehow like, I'm telling you what it is. They mind fuck themselves. They're like, well, Elon doesn't even work. He doesn't even do anything. So why can't I do the same? And it's like, well, first of all, he works 10 times harder than you could ever dream of working. You're in a fantasy. You're mad because you're in your own mind believing these fantasies. Keep telling you, it's all a fantasy that you live every day. And you get angry about this shit in your mind. It's all fake in your mind. It's just some fucking bullshit in your head. It's these thoughts in your head. These billionaires ain't holding you back. These billionaires are the reason you got a job to go to and get a paycheck. And you're so angry. You're angry because they won't pay you more, but you don't even want to work anyway. You go to work, you fuck off the whole time. What do you expect? They're gonna fucking give you a raise for fucking off all day? They're gonna look to you to go, hey, let's pay him more. No, they're gonna pay you more for doing nothing. So you don't want to work hard and you're mad because you're not rich. What the fuck? And somehow it's some other rich guy's fault. Like he did something. He didn't do nothing to you. If I had my way, you wouldn't take nobody's income. There would be no income tax. You wouldn't be taxing a billionaire. You wouldn't be taxing some guy who works at a gas station, nothing. I don't want the government to have more money that they can blow on stupid bullshit. Don't you know it takes, you don't know nothing, New York man. I mean, why don't you do a little research about shit before you run your fucking mouth? Nobody said those checks was coming tomorrow. Elon said if you can cut $2 trillion of waste and fraud from the government, you'll be able to give everybody a $5,000 check. All taxpayers. Did you miss that part? So first you got to cut the 2 trillion. It's like they're going to give 20% of everything they cut. You do realize Doge is supposed to completely be finished and closed by 2026, right? You realize that, right? So there's a time limit here to cut as much as you can and get all this stuff cut. That's why they're going in and putting this AI into all this fucking software so it can go through all this shit and audit everything real quick so they can cut it all quick. Nobody said he was getting a check the next day. Get a grip. You may not get a check. There may not be a bunch of fraud, huh? That's what you keep saying. Oh, there's no waste. There's no fraud. What are they doing? The worst thing that could happen. I don't even know why you all do shit like that. Because if those checks come, you just look stupid. You got to learn to keep some stuff in the back pocket for later. You got to stop shooting your entire load all at once. That's what you liberals do. You just fucking, you're fucking like little fucking dorks just spewing everywhere. You wait a couple of years, like you wait till Doge closes up and finishes up, and then you go, hey, what happened to those $5,000 checks they were supposed to give us? And then nobody can say, well, the cutting's not finished. That's what we get at the end if they cut 2 trillion. You got to wait. You got to know when to use these things. Not the time to use it every second of every day. But you're so desperate for a victory. You're so desperate for something to say. You're clinging for anything. Oh, I haven't forgot about the $5,000 check. You think I'm going to let them slide about the $5,000 check? Do you know me? They're not sliding about the $5,000 check. But it's not the time to complain. You understand? It's not the time to whine like a bitch about the $5,000 check. When I know what was said about how you get that and what has to happen first. It's not happened yet. You all keep delaying it. You keep fucking your stupid judges and shit keep fucking around. Why don't you just let Elon do it so we can hurry up and get our check? Why don't you get out of your own way? You're like, I don't want that check. It'll cause inflation. Suddenly you care about inflation. Shut up, dumb dork. Suddenly it's funny to me. The only time y'all care about that is when Americans might get something out of it. Now you'll give every goddamn dime you got to illegal aliens and Ukraine and all that. And I guess that don't call writing Ukraine $1 billion checks don't cause inflation. Nah. But writing me a check would. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. And the fact that you can't somehow grasp the difference between us getting a check and how we'd be supportive of that versus giving the money to Ukraine or illegal aliens. Who the fuck supports that? How does that benefit me? That don't benefit nobody here. So you're going to have a hard time convincing most people to be like, yeah, fuck that $5,000 check. Let's give that money to Ukraine. Or let's give it to illegal aliens. You're going to have a hard fucking time on that one. The worst thing, you shouldn't even be reminding people about those checks. That'd be the last thing you want to happen. That'd be the second time Trump gave everybody a check. You've never gave nobody nothing but illegal aliens. You gave them all kinds of shit. So you ain't doing too good. You don't want Trump to send out another check to everybody. $5 grand? You don't want that. It's the last thing you want. You asking for another L. You're like, God, when they gonna send out that money? With Trump's name on the check. When they gonna send that? How do you want that? I'd be like, man, I hope everybody forgets about that and they don't do that. You're like, hey, remember those checks? And I'm like, yeah, about those checks. Let's get everybody talking about them checks. Because you know, the more they talk about it, the more Elon's gonna be like, oh yeah, Trump's gonna do it if everybody's talking about it. Why not? If it makes him look good, God, you people are dumb. I'm telling you. You can't get out of your own way. Keep attacking Teslas like retards. Keep doing it. Keep keying people's Teslas and eventually they'll have to backpedal from this though. You'll know when it's getting real bad. What's going to happen is they're going to kill somebody. And then all the Democratic senators are going to have to come out and be like, well, hey, I condemn this. And they're only going to do it when it gets that bad. Somebody's going to have to die. And they may not even do it then. And they'll try to blame it on Elon, which is typical manipulation. It's an evil thing to say, to be like, well, I attacked you, but that's your fault for having that car. Or that's Elon's fault for cutting waste and shit in the government. Like, no, that don't give you a reason to go terrorize people on the streets. No, that's not how it works. But see, they think they're in some type of movie or something where they're fighting evil. They got to bankrupt Tesla to stop Elon. I don't think that would stop Elon, honestly. I think it'd just piss him off more. I don't get the strategy. Like, even if you bankrupt Tesla, I think you would cost a bunch of people their jobs, and those are all voters who are never going to vote for you again because you just fucked their whole life up. What? Because they make electric cars? Thought you supported that. Don't even make sense. The Elon derangement syndrome is really fucking them right now. That's why I said don't get caught up in Elon derangement. I seen y'all getting caught up in that. I was like, don't get caught up in Elon derangement syndrome. Crying about Elon every day. Get a grip. Get a grip, man. You'll be out there burning a Tesla. And I don't even know what Elon did to the right wing people. What did he do to you? Get a grip. What the fuck did he do to you? I'm sure Elon's secretly on their side. That's why they're burning his fucking vehicles, trying to bankrupt his company. What's this guy got to do? What's he got to take for you to calm the fuck down? Quit acting like you're getting played or something. You want to have a L so bad. Like, you just want to lose so bad. You want to be getting played so bad. And they keep trying to convince me Elon's all about the money, but clearly not. It's not like he said, "All right, I'm resigning, I'm backing away. I'm hurting the company." It seems like he don't give a shit. How many of you dorks are gonna go to prison for terrorizing mothers who drive Teslas? He's like, "It's a Nazi car. Sell your car." Like, what? Sell your car? How about you go to prison? How about you go to CCOT instead? Nobody's selling their cars. You're going to CCOT. Don't you get that? I'm just waiting till I get on here one morning. You've killed some Tesla driver. And then the gloves are going to come off on you nerds. I mean, if January 6 people got to go in solitary confinement and all this shit for not killing anybody, and they vandalized the Capitol, you're like going after random citizens in their cars. It's insanity. It's actually insane. And what is your obsession with fire? You guys love setting shit on fire. That's your thing, fire. You love it. Nice fire. See, they didn't set the Capitol on fire. And that's the thing about the January 6th stuff. They're gonna go. They're gonna do worse things in January. They already have. They try to kill Trump. That's worse than January 6th. They try to do that. Even if it was just some lone nut. Well, it was still a lone nut ass liberal. So at the end of the day, they tried to kill Trump. And they'll do even worse. They're gonna kill random ass Tesla owners. That's the thing. That's how deranged they are. They're gonna kill some random Democrat who voted for Kamala and drives a Tesla because they hate Elon and Trump so much. It's completely fucking deranged. This woman in this car, I guarantee you didn't vote for no fucking Trump. And this dude's like terrorizing her. And she's like, I could sell, I can't sell my car that fast. And it's like, God damn, lady. She's just giving in, like, I'll go okay, but it takes time. It takes time to sell it. Tried to hang Mike Pence. Nobody tried to hang Mike Pence. Nobody got close to Mike Pence. To me, it's hilarious that you would even try to act like Democrats are somehow like they are the violent party, the hateful party. They are. I mean, they're committing terrorism. If you look up the definition of terrorism, what they're doing to Tesla is terrorism by definition. So they should be charged with terrorism. When you do commit violence and stuff with a political means, that's what terrorism is. And you're trying to like bankrupt Tesla to stop Elon from cutting government weight. Like it's clearly political. Like all these people are going down. Like some of these people, because they created a website where they fucking put every Tesla owner's name and address. All the people that set that up are all gonna do a lot of time in prison. It's coming. They're fucked. Because it's just a slam dunk politically. Like it really is like it's a no-brainer to just be like, whoa, like because I guarantee a majority of the public thinks this shit's insane, what's going on with these cars and shit. So you can put these motherfuckers in prison, it don't matter. They're gonna make an example out of these idiots. So I would advise against going after a Tesla because you will be made an example of. You vandalize somebody's car and shit over this, you're gonna get hit with domestic terrorism charges because by definition you are committing terrorism. So they got your ass. Especially when you're writing a swastika on the side of it and shit. That's terrorism. They're gonna kill somebody though. It's coming. You're gonna get up one morning. They'll kill some Tesla owner. Because Elon's just gonna keep going. Trump's gonna keep going, and they're gonna, something's gonna set them off one day, big time. Something's gonna happen. They're gonna get set off. They're gonna kill. They're gonna get real violent. They're gonna set somebody's Tesla on fire with them in it, burn them alive. They already set somebody on fire on the subway. So, I'm waiting on somebody to be in the Tesla and it's on fire. Some mother of three and her children or something. Gonna be in. I mean, these people are nuts. They're going up to random cars. That woman said she had like 3 kids. They're going up to random cars. What's to stop some dude from just setting it on fire? Them Teslas, they burn. Them lithium batteries, they burn. They burn real quick. Think about them Teslas. I wouldn't want to drive one because I hear about how they catch on fire, and it's like, fuck, that sounds awful. Them lithium batteries are highly flammable. That's why they want to set them on fire because it's very easy to destroy. If you get that car burning, you're done. It's done. Why would it be hilarious to see Tesla bankrupt? So that's the hate and the evilness that cost you the last election. And I say keep it up because it only helps Trump. It only helps Republicans. I love seeing it, quite frankly, because I know I'm at war with you losers, and I want to win. I want to dominate you. I told you I'll take my chances with the Republicans. You are done. I want to see your party eviscerated. Not a single one of you get any power. Not a mayor, not a nothing. City council, nothing. Get them the fuck out of here. And this helps. Like this is exactly the best case scenario going forward for you all to be acting like this and doing this. Because it makes everything so much easier. Because if you all would have like calmed the fuck down and got yourself together, then all we would be talking about is what Trump's doing. The good and the bad, and we'd be talking about it, we'd be talking about it. But because you motherfuckers are so unhinged, we're talking about you and your madness. We're still talking about you and your madness. We don't even got time to talk about Trump. I don't even know what he's doing. Who cares? Because you're on the verge of killing people for owning a car. You're your own worst enemy. And you're too stupid to realize it. You're not going to bankrupt Tesla. You're just going to destroy the Democratic Party. Now, when have I been wrong about you? Think about that. When have I been wrong about you and your party over the last 8 years? I told you every little mistake you was making. When have I been wrong? How'd that trans stuff go? How's the trans stuff going for you? You went hard with that. How's that working out? How's letting men in the women's bathroom and men in women's sports? How's it going? Public on your side on that? What about transitioning children? Public's with you on that? Huh? No, you got that fucked you up bad. How'd that open border shit work out? Told you that was stupid. Did this all to yourself. I don't even know why you're mad. You did it to yourself. If you actually reflected on it, took some accountability, you realize everything happening to you now, you did to yourself. You wouldn't even have Trump if you would have just got it together and knocked it the fuck off. Yeah, Trump wouldn't even be in there right now. First of all, you ran Hillary Clinton retarded. Bernie Sanders also retarded, but at least Bernie Sanders kind of had some momentum. There was almost like a movement behind him. Maybe that could have been his moment for you, but no, you threw that down the drain for Hillary Clinton. That was your first mistake. Been all downhill ever since. And then you actually put Biden in, and he won. That's crazy. And that ended up being a massive loss for you. That was actually a big mistake. You would have been better off, and you have to admit this. You would have been better off had Trump just won in 2020. Elon wouldn't be in there right now. You know what I mean? You'd be better off right now. And you know that's true. And if you can't admit that, you are a lost cause. Like, wow. You can't admit that you shouldn't. You can't admit that if you could go back, you just would have let Trump win 2020 and you would be done with Trump right now. He'd be gone. He wouldn't even be in office right now. He'd be gone. He couldn't run again. And I guarantee that second term wouldn't have been as good as this one's been so far. It would have been probably a letdown. But I think giving Trump 4 years away from the White House to kind of think about his mistakes and reflect on things. Because if you look at Trump's life, he's made a lot of failures and a lot of mistakes, but he's recovered. He's always come back from all these things. There's been many times where he seems like he's completely done, he's bankrupt, he's done, and he comes back stronger. And he did that in politics too. So that's the story of Trump's life. If you actually look at Trump's life objectively and not like some lunatic liberal, that's the story of his life. He fails and then comes back stronger. He finds another avenue to succeed. And so that was a big mistake, letting him have 4 years and then coming back. Big mistake. Getting to think about all the mistakes you made and how you do it differently this time. You got 4 years to think about that, dwell on it. What he did. And now you have to deal with this motherfucker who doesn't give a fuck. There wouldn't be nobody going to see COD. None of that shit would have been happening. And now your latest mistake, perhaps your most severe mistake, is what you're doing with the Tesla shit. Don't you see that you can't sit on social media and talk about people losing their jobs and all these poor people losing their jobs while you're trying to bankrupt an American company that has thousands of Americans employed? And not only are you doing that, you are, and you could, Republicans did that with the Bud Light. They were trying to fuck Bud Light up and shit. So you could do that. You could say, I'm not buying Teslas. I'm not fucking. But your mistake, where you went too far with it, is you're going after people's cars and trying to like get them to sell it. You're taking it too far. When you could just say, hey, we're not buying Teslas. We're not supporting Elon. We're not using X. Fuck Elon. People would say, well, that's fine. You can do that. No big deal. But you're committing terrorism. Public's not going to get behind that. So it's the biggest mistake you've made so far. Um, if you don't get it under control really quickly, it's going to cost you the midterms. If this stuff goes on into next year and just keeps escalating, you're done. The worst possible thing for you is to be in election season next year, and this is like a top thing that's being talked about, you committing terrorism. And it's like happening. It's not some old thing that happened last year or whatever that you all stopped doing. It's just still going. And it's got worse. Like you have killed somebody, or you've come close, you've hurt some dude. Oh man. You gotta think. You gotta stop. You gotta get over the fantasies and the derangement, and you gotta start thinking objectively. You gotta come to your senses. I told you this after you lost. You gotta come to your senses, and you gotta come to your senses fast. The problem you face is everyone around you on your party's a fucking retard. So maybe you might come to your senses, but you can't convince all these fucking idiots. You do not have a leader. You all need a leader so bad. You need someone that's respected, that can convince all these lunatic retards to get it together. And it's crazy. Like, you don't even like, you just have to tell these people, like, hey, man, this is just helping them. At the end of the day, you're just helping them doing this. So this is not effective. And you're only helping them out. So we got to stop this shit because we're hurting ourselves. And if these retard motherfuckers can't wrap their brain around that, man, your party's lost. Because you can't even pull it, even if you want to commit violence, you can't even pull it together and be like, we can't do that though, because my God, it'll make us look terrible. That'll cost us so many votes. But a lot of your leaders are calling for violence. So your leadership is retarded. Democrats need a Trump bad. They need someone to come in from the outside of the party and take it over. And it has to be someone that the Democrats respect, that they look to and they say, I respect that guy. I don't know who that is. So it's got to be a celebrity, I would say. nobody in that fucking party. Ain't nobody in that fucking Congress or nothing worth a damn. Certainly not Kamala or somebody like that. I don't think Stephen A's the guy. I don't think they don't have anybody. It's kind of sad. I think a lot of people should just take a shot at it, quite frankly. I mean, I think old Alec Baldwin should step in. Maybe they need somebody. I think a lot of these celebrities, I think we're going to see a shit show in 2028 because I think we're going to see a lot of people try to take over that party like Trump. I think that's why you're seeing Stephen A. He's kind of peeking in, like, oh, maybe I'll start talking politics a little bit and all. And notice he's interviewing like Republicans and he's kind of agreeing with them. He's trying to seem kind of I'm in the middle. I'm coming to my senses. I'm in the middle. He'll probably run. I don't know if it'll be president, but he might, step into something. I'm telling you, people are realizing how retarded the Democrats are, and it's like they could step in and get some power themselves. They could take over some shit because these people are retarded. They have no sense. Problem is, a lot of these celebrities are discredited too. Nobody likes them either. Democrats really need a real kind of middle of the road type of person, like a common sense, but kind of has that liberal slant to it on liberal things that are popular. They need that so bad. Your idiots are probably going to run like Josh Shapiro or some dumb motherfucker. Democrats ain't voting for a Jew. You don't think it's the time to run a Jew, quite frankly. I don't think the country is in a good place for that. Seems like there's a lot of Jew hate on both sides. Maybe that's the way the country unifies behind hating Jews. Because the fringes of both parties hate them, can't stand them. All they talk about all day, Jews. The leftists on Palestine, fucking Israel, Jews, Jews, Jews. The right's just Jews, 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 Jews. They don't seem to like Palestine either, but well, the Democratic approval rating is going to keep dropping because they're not doing anything. Democrats would really, if they just started working with Trump on just common sense things and kind of getting back to, hey, we're not retarded children, we're adults, we're gonna get some things done here that we can agree on. But they don't want to do that. They think it's going to make them look bad, I guess. Look bad to who? Your lunatic supporters? Don't you think it's time to kind of rebuild the party and kind of like maybe you got to let some lunatics go? Maybe you got to let those crazy motherfuckers go and let them go somewhere else and vote for Jill Stein or something. Maybe you got to stop catering to the lunatics and try to get some of these people in the middle who didn't really want to vote Trump but felt like they had no choice. Maybe you need to try to get some of them, get them back. Maybe that should be the focus, not pleasing some tranny. Like what was it, like less than 1% of the population is transgender, and they're fucking hyper focused on that. It doesn't make any sense when you think about it. You're trying to get the most votes, and that really doesn't make sense. Is there that many transgender people voting? Is that a big voting block? I mean, what the fuck? And then they got some dude in Congress. He wears a dress every day, and they get all worked up because the Republicans were like, "No, we're gonna call him a man," which was the right move. You have to get back. You have to be seen as adults. with sense. You can't be seen as fucking lunatics up there. You're going along with fantasies and some crossroad. By the way, they shouldn't even let him wear that in there. He should have to dress in a normal suit. And, Fetterman should have to put a suit on too, by the way. I'm tired of seeing Fetterman in a goddamn hoodie and shorts. Put a suit on. The stroke is over. I hear you talk now. You're fine. Put a suit on. I don't want to hear no more about it. This is ridiculous. And if I ever spoke to him, I'd say that to him. I'd say, why not put a suit on? You know? Why not respect the office? Why not look like you got some sense in there? And I don't want to hear your bullshit reason and excuses of why he should get to wear his hoodie. And shut the fuck up. If I was a congressman, you'd see me in a suit. If I became the mayor or some shit, I'd wear a suit. I mean, get a fucking grip. Looking like Shrek in there. Look like a big ogre. With a hoodie on. I seen he went to Israel, met Netanyahu. He's wearing a good. That's how you know right there. Israel don't have as much power as you think. They don't have the power to get Fetterman to put a suit on. He went over there in his hoodies and shorts and met Netanyahu. Took a picture with him. Like, he's gigantic. Giant ogre. He should be a professional wrestler, but somehow he's in Congress. He should be on Raw, not on C-SPAN. Tesla's not getting smashed by no tariffs. Tesla's getting attacked by lunatic liberals. But Tesla will bounce back because people like Teslas. And you're not going to get to just keep terrorizing people. They already put a couple of them in prison 5 to 20 years. They're done. Some dude set a charging station on fire and they put his ass in he wrote fuck Trump on it or something and set it on fire. And he's facing 5 to 20. And I say the whole 20. Put him in there for the whole 20. Or let him out in 5 years so he can see President J.D. Vance. And he can realize that he did that. Thank you. Not only do we have a great candidate for 2028 who knows how to talk and knows all about optics and has more sense than you, definitely more political sense than you. You have no candidate and you're just getting worse by the day. It's fantastic. And then I got to listen to retards. Just like before the election, I got to listen to you retards come in here and tell me, oh, no, Democrats are doing fine. It's going to be fine. What, Trump is failing. Oh, how's Trump going to, how's J.D. Vance going to win? How the Republicans are going to win the midterms? You still can't explain how Kamala's going to win. You couldn't explain that. You never could. And you kept telling us every day about it. The 17 keys and all this dumb shit. Well, I'm telling you right now, and just like I told you last year, Republicans are going to dominate you in the midterms if you don't get it together. You got time to get it together now. And there's a lot of time for Trump to fail. But it's going to be hard to pay attention to Trump failing if you're terrorizing random citizens in the streets for the cars they drive. If you're setting random people's cars on fire and going crazy, how can people focus on anything other than your insanity? Why is it so hard just to sit the fuck down? Don't you realize this is not the time to protest? It's not the time to chant. It's not the time to light a fire. It's the time to sit down, lick your wounds, go back to the drawing board, meet behind the scenes, start figuring out how you're going to win the midterms, how you're going to win 2028. Let the focus be on Trump. Let everyone be talking about Trump. Everyone be talking about Republic. You're taking all the focus away from that and putting it right on your insanity. And I've told you for a year. I told you 4 years ago when Biden won. I said, the focus, Trump is going to be gone and everyone's going to be focused on you. And that's the worst thing for you. And that was true. Look how it turned out for you. And now Trump is back and he should be taking the focus, but you won't stop taking it. You want it. You're going to become terrorists. which I knew ever since October 7th. I mean, I knew since the BLM riots you were terrorists. This is what you do when you lose, when your back's against the wall. You got no sense. You're angry people, so you got no sense. You're not calm and collected, trying to figure it out. That's why you're going to keep losing. There's no hope for you. You have no hope for the. I'm still waiting on Ian Malcolm to break it down for me how Democrats win the midterms. He can't. Democrats are praying the stock market crashes and the economy collapses. I mean, they're out of their minds. They're like, God, I hope everything falls apart so we can win. And that's what it would take. That's how bad it would have to get for you to win. That's how far you've fallen. Because if it all goes well, if it just goes fine, it's been fine. Like people's not, yeah, the prices don't really go down, but they don't go up. They don't go up. And then we just go, well, Biden did that. Hard to blame that on Trump. I mean, he said he'd get them down, but I guess you can't get them down because at the end of the day, you still did that. It's going to be, how can I blame Trump? So you got to hope the prices go up. And God forbid if they go down. If they go down, you just hush. Just go sit down. I mean, what the hell? If those prices start going down, you're fucking done. Because he's already the border shit. He done made a fool of you with that. You spent all last year talking the border bill. Hey, what about that border bill, Smokey? It could have done. Trump don't care about the border. He didn't let that bill pass. And what did I tell you? What did I tell you at the time? I say you don't need a bill. The president could do it if he wanted to. Nah, Smokey, you got to have a bill. You don't understand. Well, Trump won and he did it. He didn't pass. That Congress didn't pass a bill. Nothing like that. Trump just did it. What are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? It's wild. The president could just send the military down there to seal the border. We can just put soldiers on our border with guns. And, that deters motherfuckers from coming. It's funny how that works. It's funny how when you put soldiers with guns on that border, fucking soldiers, not like gang members, what are like legitimate trained soldiers on that border with military weaponry, not no little AR-15, little pistol, military shit, vehicles and radars and shit, but real bullets. We're not tasing motherfuckers there. We'll shoot you. It's funny how that people stop coming over the motherfucking border. Wow. Wow. And ain't it funny? We ain't had to shoot a single person. Y'all was so worried about, oh, what are they going to do? Start gunning people down? No, retard. If you put the soldiers there, people just stop coming. People aren't insane like you. They're not just going to walk into bullets. They're gonna hear from other people like, hey, there's fucking soldiers at that border now. You can't go over there. And they're gonna go, oh fuck, well I ain't going there. Because most people have sense. They have sense enough not to go to a border. Like if you was in South Korea, you wouldn't be like, I'm gonna go down to the North Korean border and walk into it. You wouldn't do that. You would never even think to do that unless you were out of your fucking mind. And so if you put the military on our border, most people's gonna just not come. Imagine that. And you didn't have to kill one woman, one child, all these fantasies Junie had about if you did this, what would happen. And then none of it happened. They just stopped coming. Called a deterrent. Now do you understand what a deterrent is? What a concept. I put soldiers on the border and you don't come at all. Amazing. Just like sending those gang members to Seacott and making that video. That's a deterrent. That's to get people who are here that are gang members to see that and go, man, I got to get the fuck out of this place before I end up in Seacott. I don't want to be in Seacott. So I think I'll take my chances in Mexico. I think I'll go back over the Mexico. You know what I'm saying? I'll go back to Mexico, and I guess I'll go somewhere else like that. Because the alternative is getting caught and sent to Seacott. Called a deterrent. If there's no deterrent, why would you care? If you knew you could go down to the store, and you've seen this in California, if you knew you could go down to the store and just steal whatever you wanted and there was no consequences, why buy anything? Why pay for anything? Why not use that money elsewhere? If you could just go down and just And they were just like, you could steal food. Nobody's going to stop you. No one's going to arrest you. No one's going to do anything about it. Oh, just go steal my food then. I'm not going to pay for it because everyone's going to be stealing it. I mean, what are you going to be the only guy that pays for it? Oh, fuck it. It's got to be a deterrent. You got to know that you're going to go to jail if you go down there and start loading your card up and try to push it out the door without paying for it. You're going to jail. At the very least, you're going to get banned from that store. You're not going to be able to go buy groceries. So that keeps people from even thinking about it. It don't even cross their mind to go down there. Now, some people still do it. But most people ain't. But if you said, fuck it. If the president went on TV and said, go down to the grocery store, get whatever you want, nobody's going to stop you. You don't pay nothing. Every one of us is going to go, what the fuck? We're all going to go down to the store and take the food. Because we've just been told we can't. That's what they did in California. They were like, yeah, you can steal like $900 worth of shit. Nobody's even going to. It wasn't even food. They were stealing makeup. They were stealing. Then liberals are like, well, people are hungry. So they're stealing makeup? They eat and make it? Of course I'm on Twitch, but nobody uses Twitch because it's gay. It's basically chatterbait now. With liberals mixed into it. Liberals and whores. Of course they had to overturn that law because when you tell people they can take whatever they want. I mean, think about it. $900, you could go steal a PlayStation and get some games. Get a bunch of games. Get another controller. And it's not, that's a misdemeanor. So I can go and get a PlayStation 5, just leave with it, and that's a misdemeanor because it's only $400. And then if I go to another store, I can steal $400 worth of games, right? Because it's not the same store. I guess you keep that. That's why they got to lock everything. Because I guess if you go in there and like bust the window out, that's vandalism or something. And I guess that's a felony. I don't know how this works. It doesn't make any sense. Like here's how it should be. You go down to the store and steal something. If it's like some really expensive thing, you're going to jail. If it's like a little candy bar or whatever, they catch you, you're probably going to get banned from the store. Probably never going to be able to go back in that store. At least for several years till they all have new people in there and nobody knows who you are. Maybe they put your face up there on the wall. Don't let this guy in there. And that's like a slap on there. That's the best case scenario for you. But in California, just take what you want. And then everybody was doing it and they were like, I don't understand. Oh, wow. Instead of padlocking the shelf, how about just put people in fucking prison for stealing shit? If you know that you can get away with it, you'll probably do it. Especially if you know I can get away with it at least once. But if you know that if you steal a bag of chips and they catch you, 1 year in CCOT, you will never steal a fucking pack of gum, chip, nothing. Because all you'll think about is, I'm not. Imagine sitting in CCOT for a bag of chips. You'll be like, that ain't worth it. I'll just starve. You'll think of ways to get some money to get something. But if you know, nothing's gonna happen. If you know they could tackle you in the store and bash your head in, you wouldn't do it either. You wouldn't. And you couldn't sue them or anything. You couldn't press charges because you were still trying to steal their shit. So you would be like, probably not do that. But when you know there's no consequences, why not steal it? Fuck it. Especially if you ain't got no money, well, I'll just go steal some food. A lot of these people are doing drugs too, so they got money, they use it on the drugs, and then I'll go steal some food. And apparently steal everything else too. Makeup, laundry detergent, TVs, fuck it. Take it off the shelf, walk out with it. TV ain't $900. You get a little TV for $400, $100. So you can take a TV. Gotta go padlock the TV to the wall. And then some black guys ripping it off the wall. Some illegal alien Mexican guy carrying out a TV. Remember that one fat white bitch that stole a lamp during that BLM when they was raiding Target, looting Target, and she was running out with a lamp? White people are retarded. They don't even steal right. Steal a fucking lamp. I've been wanting those lamps. You know she went down there too. Oh, I've been wanting those lamps at Target. I'm gonna run down there. Hopefully they're still there. And they were, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. These people just destroying the store, looting it. Somehow these lamps are just chilling. Now you send everybody to CCOT because you know they know everybody in there. Hey, they could find everybody in the Capitol on January 6th. So everyone that was in that Target, you go through the surveillance footage and you put every single one of them in CCOT for a year. And then the next time, no one will ever loot a Target again. Because they'll remember that video of them getting took off that airplane to CCOT, head shaved. They'll say, fuck. Hey, man, they're looting Target. You want to go? No. I don't need anything at Target that bad. Last time they did that, they all went to CCOT. It will stop some people. Some retards, you can't stop them from nothing. It's like they make a CCOT and then people still gang members. Like, what? That should be the end of it. That should be the end of the gang. Fuck this gang shit. I ain't going to CCOT. They cram you in a cell with a bunch of thugs. And some illegal alien that was like in a prison here. They went and got grabbed. Think about that shit. It's crazy. They went and grabbed him. You know he been running his mouth too. You know he's been a real problem. They keep trying to make us think that these guys they sent are like innocent people. Well, they just had a tattoo of Mario on their arm, the Mario brothers, and they thought that was MS-13. Yeah, I bet. And I just want them to prove one. Give me one guy that got sent there that's not a violent thug piece of shit. Show me it. I know you ain't got it because I'd have seen it by now. It'd be all over fucking X and the TV and everything else if you had that. But all these motherfuckers are gang members. What they ought to do before they send the next plane load to CCOT is they ought to show you what each guy did. They ought to go through over his record. What did this guy do? But you send them first. You send the motherfuckers first, and you record the video. Make sure you get their faces in it, and then you let the liberals spend a couple of days having a nervous breakdown, and then you release what these guys did. Here's each guy. Here's what he did. Here's his mug shots. Oh, he killed some woman and her child. And you let them go on TV and defend this shit for days. To sit there and, oh, these poor people got sent off. Like, this shit is so easy. Like, they do a good job, but they could have really twisted the knife if they would have just released who each of these men, who are these men? What do these men do? Give the liberals at least 24 hours to make a fool of themselves first, though. Right to CCOT if you melt somebody's door handle off with a blowtorch. I don't know why we want these people around. I don't understand. I've never done that. Why would I want to live in a society with a bunch of fucking lunatics that melt your doorknob off, get in your house, steal your shit? I don't care where they send you. I wouldn't give a shit. They could shoot you off into outer space. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't be like, no, this is inhumane. What about the Constitution? You know, the Constitution, you bring that up when some poor bastard does something. He don't do nothing. And they just put him in prison for nothing. He's smoking a joint on the sidewalk or something. And they put him in CCOT. That's when you go, hey, hey, what about the Constitution? What the fuck are we doing? Not when it's a lunatic, violent nut job who's terrorizing the community. What do you don't bring up the Constitution for him. You say fuck him. What's wrong with you people? That's the only time you want to bring up our rights and shit and due process when it's some thug scumbag motherfucker. When it's some dude ain't wearing a mask and won't take a shot, nah, put him in prison. Fuck due process. Send the military to his house to keep him in. You don't see much crime going on. Well, I'm good. Good for you, white man. Good for you, wherever you live. I guess there's no crime in other places in the country. You're right. If you ain't seeing it, I guess it ain't happening. Wow. What a point you just made. You're a real genius. These are the geniuses that going to lecture me and tell me all about it. I wish they'd send people like you to live in these communities with the crime. Rip you up in the dead of night, and you think you're going to Seacott. No, you're going to some shithole in America. What's that one place in Chicago? You're going to O Block. You're going to live there for a year. And we'll see how you feel about crime. We'll see how much you like gangs and shit. Let me let you live around the gangs. Did I talk about Bernie? Why would I talk about Bernie? He's irrelevant. I gotta take a piss. Sanders is irrelevant, guy. JD Vance is gonna cruise to victory. I don't even know why y'all are. What are you talking about, Bernie Sanders? The oldest shit. 4 years from now, he's almost 90 years old. Oh man, you gotta get serious. Bernie Sanders. Motherfuckers also think AOC gonna win or something. That would be terrible for the country. I don't want to hear no more about Bernie Sanders. I want some real. Give me a real candidate. Think outside the box for once in your life. Democrats need somebody. I mean, they need some serious shit. Bernie Sanders. You ought to be slapped for even bringing that up. Bernie Sanders. Good grief. That don't surprise me though. Y'all was talking about Kamala Harris not too long ago. Maybe she'll run again. I mean, she like what? She's got decimated. What fucking talking about? Y'all ain't got no candidates, no real candidate. Nobody can even think of something. Just say retard shit. Packed crowds. Packed crowds. I'm aware there's a bunch of retards who still like Democrats. I'm aware. AOC, I mean, she's an idiot. I hope they run her as the president. Jesus Christ. Against Vance? Oh, brother. Hell yeah. Run old ass Bernie Sanders too. Hell, I mean, either of those people. I would love that. Those people are not, they don't intimidate me. That's like a slam dunk. Look, they bring this guy in. He's talking about ending the U.S. empire. Why is he here? Get him out of here. Send him home. Send his ass home. He hates America so much. Get him out. Why do we want these people here? I gotta keep hearing about freedom of speech. Well, if we don't let this guy come to our country and talk shit about our country, I mean, what? Somehow we're against free speech? Go fuck yourself. I wish they'd deport you too. Gonna get rid of your Social Security. Quit fear mongering about Social Security. Oh yeah, they were bringing up Bud Light. These people are retarded. I seen a tweet earlier. Guy was bringing up Kid Rock shooting Bud Light cans. He was comparing that to setting somebody's Tesla on fire. Good God, those were his cans. He bought them. He can do what he wants with them. You're lighting somebody's car on fire. Clear difference. Clear difference. And by the way, everybody went back to drinking Bud Light. Everyone went back to it. So what point you trying to make here? People are not good at this, and you try so hard to like defend what you're doing and say, oh, well, it's hypocrisy. No, it's not. Going out and buying a case of Bud Light and shooting it on your property with a gun out in the middle of the country somewhere is not the same as going to somebody's Tesla and setting it on fire or drawing a swastika on it. You dumb fuck. The difference is that's not your car. Those are his Bud Light cans. That's his Bud Light case. He bought it. He can do if he wants to shoot it, drink it. It doesn't matter. You are destroying somebody's car. Dumb fucking retard Democrat. I look forward to watching the sick terrorist thugs get 20-year sentences for what they are doing to Elon and Tesla. Sir, oh my God. I swear to God. I swear to God. I'll fucking. Perhaps they could serve them in the prisons of El Salvador, which have become so recently famed. God, send them to seek. Oh my God. Oh my God. What a tweet. What a tweet. He's literally thinking about sending you to Seacott. And I'm supposed to be upset with Trump. And Crystal Ball's a fucking idiot. That January 6th shit coming back to bite you in the ass, huh? You wanted all them motherfuckers to rot for the rest of their life in prison for turning over a vase or something. But you set somebody's car on fire and no, nothing should happen to you. You should go to fucking Seacott. Fuck yes. Wow. You gotta go to Seacott. What do you think about that tweet, Doug? What about the violent message that you send by setting a Tesla on fire, Doug? What about the violent message you send when you get out of your car and harass some woman for driving a Tesla who probably voted for Kamala? What's that message? There's nothing violent about shooting Bud Light cans and going, fuck drinking Bud Light. Conservatives didn't attack Bud Light workers. Nice try, but that didn't happen. That's long over with and done. We all seen how that played out. And we see what you're doing. And Trump says you're going to Seacott. Yes. I want a video of that one dude that they're giving 5 to 20 years. There's a picture of him. I want a video of him shaving his head, got long hair. Oh my God. Getting his head shaved and stuck in that Seacott cell for what he did. You want to light Tesla Chargers on fire and vandalize and cause chaos right to Seacott. Something about protecting the net worth of the richest man. You are terrorizing the community, retard. You are committing acts of terrorism. People drive Teslas. If you burn all the chargers up, motherfuckers can't charge his shit and go to work. You are literally terrorizing us. You are causing problems. We want you in Seacott. And not only are you burning the chargers, you're burning the cars. You're attacking the cars, people's cars. You're inconveniencing people's lives. You're a nuisance to society. You're a violent nuisance. And we want you in Seacott. And I would love to see it. I hope he sends them. God, I hope he sends you. God, I would love it. I would love all you liberals in here screaming about it, going crazy. Oh my God, Smokey, this is insane. He sent that man to Seacott. All he did was light a Tesla supercharger on fire. Like, where's that guy's picture? Maybe he said it out loud.
Who else is? And if we don't have Elon, they could be up there a long time. Who else is going to get him? And I just want to thank him. He's going through a lot, what they're doing to him. And these people are going to be caught, and they're going to be caught, and they're going to be prosecuted. And from what they tell me, I see this just by watching your programs and reading the news, but from what they tell me, they could get 20 years in jail, and they'll get it. I'll tell you, there's going to be no leniency, and there'll be no pardons. I can tell you that right
And
now.
you said this morning 20 years in jail, and then maybe they get. You said this morning 20 years in jail, and then maybe they'll go to one of these prisons in El Salvador. Do you think with the way that the judges have been issuing injunctions, it would be easier or harder to send these Tesla domestic terrorists to a jail in El Salvador than these MS-13 or Tren de Aragua guys?
Well, I view these people as terrorists just like others. These are, when I looked at those showrooms burning and those cars, not one or two, like 7, 8, 10 burning, exploding all over the place. These are terrorists. You didn't have that on January 6th, I can tell you. You didn't have anything like that on January 6th, which is sort of amazing because on January 6th, the Democrats were talking. Nobody was killed other than a very beautiful young woman, Ashley Babbitt. Nobody was killed. And you look at what's going on now with these terrorists. These are terrorists, and that's an organized event. You know, take a look at their signs. Take a look. They're all made by the same sign company. A nice, expensive job. Now, these are the people that finance it are, in my opinion, in just as big a trouble as the people that are setting the match, setting the fires.
Yes,
so we'll see. It's under very serious investigation by the FBI and by the Justice Department. These people are terrorists.
Right to Seacott. You just got I mean, all this shit's backfiring on you, man. All your rhetoric. I warned you for years to shut the fuck up about January 6th. January 6th. And now they use it against you. Now they're like, oh, that bitching about violence, political violence. Now look at this shit. So you just look like hypocrites, and the country's not on your side. You think the country gives a fuck if Trump takes some fucking dork who's going around setting fucking Teslas on fire, sticks his ass in Seacott? You think anybody cares? You think regular ass people that got to go to work every day and live their lives and ain't causing no problems, you think they give a fuck about this dork? They don't. Nobody cares. Nobody's like, oh yeah, he set a Tesla on fire. Well, that's okay. Let him off. Who the fuck? I mean, that's retarded. I mean, this is another losing battle for you. Like, you're going to try to convince us that Trump is a bad guy for wanting to prosecute people who are going around setting cars on fire. He's a bad guy. He's doing it to protect Elon. What about the random people's cars you keep setting on fire? Hey, ain't that the right thing to do though? Like if a guy has a business and you go down to the dealership and set the place on fire, shouldn't you go to fucking prison? What world do you fucking live in that somehow you just get to go, well, why don't you quit dick riding in? You want those people to go to prison? What are you, dick riding Elon? Why don't you grow up, you fucking child? Who even says some shit like that? Yes, if you set the dealership on fire, that'll put your ass in fucking prison. The fuck? Dumbass. We're just protesting. Why don't you quit glazing Elon? That's the comeback. You're fanboying Elon because I think you ought to go to prison for setting the dealership on fire. Yeah, genius. Genius. You guys want to throw away the keys for someone that keys a Tesla? Fuck yeah, I do. Why are you defending keying people's cars? Go ahead and defend it since you want to buck up on something. Go ahead and defend it. Go ahead and explain to me why it should be acceptable to let these people go around keying people's cars. And we're talking about setting shit on fire. These people that are getting arrested and facing 5 to 20 years are throwing fucking cocktails into dealerships and setting them on fire, you idiot. Why is it acceptable to vandalize people's cars because you don't like Trump? And you don't like Elon? Why is that acceptable? Why would you ever defend it? Don't you realize you've lost your way when you defend that? When you can't just say, yeah, those motherfuckers need to go to prison. They're stupid. How are you defending keying a guy's car? Acting like, yeah, it's no big deal. I didn't say throw the keys away. I said, you need to go to fucking jail. You need to face some consequences for it. You get to go around vandalizing people's property. The hell? If we come down hard on shit like that, you don't have to come down hard on it a few times where people stop that shit. Throw some dude in prison for a year for keying people's fucking cars. Then we'll see how many people want to keep going around keying people's shit. Oh, they'd go to CCOT. God, I hope we see it. I hope we see it. I tell you what, I'll throw a party if I see that. I will throw a party. No, because it's cheaper for us to send them there than keep them here. Guarantee that's why Trump did it. If you don't have to feed those motherfuckers, you just got to pay this dude, and he deals with them, and then you get them out the country. And it's a deterrent. It's a great deterrent because the goal of it, is to get these gang members to self-deport. That's the goal. Because it's really hard to deport all these people with ICE. What you need to do is make it so bad for illegal aliens to be here that they just leave. And if you can do that, and you can't get violent, you can't do stupid shit like that, obviously, but you can do certain things that just make it harder for them to live here, especially the gang members. With the gang members, you kind of go hard on them. You could say, you're going fucking see cons where you'll go. Because that's your priority. That's really who you want to get out of the country. That's the main priority, these fucking violent gang members that are killing, raping women and shit. You don't want all these stories of illegals raping. That's not good. That's not a good look. So you want to get them out of here. That's the whole reason they made that video. It's the whole reason they did that. It ain't about sending all our prisoners there. It's about taking these illegal gang members who are violent lunatics and you make a video and you use that as a deterrent. This will happen to you if you don't get the fuck out of here. And I guarantee you, these gang members ain't stupid. Some of them are gonna leave. Because if that's the alternative, if they catch you, they send you there. Fuck that. Take your chances in Mexico. Go to Mexico. Go, walk back where the fuck you came from, I guess. You gotta understand deterrent. You gotta understand what a deterrent is. Look it up. Google it. That's a lot of what Trump is doing is deterrence. That's why you put the military on the border. Sends a message. Don't come here. We got soldiers. They're all for us to shoot. Do not come here. Don't try to come over our border. Don't try to bring drugs over our border. Get out of here. When you have a serious issue where you got millions of people pouring over a border, you got gangs, you got drugs, it's insanity, you've got to do some drastic shit. Grow up. This is your fault for letting it get this bad. You did this. So if they deport somebody's mama, that's your fault. Own that. You can blame me, though. I don't give a shit. But that's your fault. Because you let this get out of control. And now the public wants it dealt with. They want it dealt with, and they want it dealt with now. I bet it costs a lot more to keep them prisoners here than $25,000 a year. I bet you it does. I bet we could look it up, too. Maybe we could find a video that break the numbers down. How much it costs to have a prisoner. Maybe we could find it. We might do that. We might educate ourselves. Yeah, most people ain't gonna um, reform themselves. You're talking about people that are hardened gang members. They murder and some people. I don't care about reforming them, man. They killed people's families. They killed children. They don't get to reform. You can go read the Bible and find God, and you can sit your rest of your life in prison, I guess. But I don't feel sorry for you. I'm 38 years old. I've never killed nobody and shit, so I don't want to hear about what you went through and what made you do it. I don't care. You did it, and now you got to face the consequences. That's called life. Sometimes there isn't a second chance. Sometimes you do something so bad that you don't ever get another chance. You fucked it up. You fucked your life up, and you got to sit in this cell for the rest of your life because you killed somebody. And, the alternative is we kill you. So we're actually doing the humane thing, just letting you live in the cell and you can kind of read books and shit. You can have some kind of a life, but you can't live in public. Can't go down to the Chick-fil-A and get a sandwich because you fucked that up for yourself because you decided to kill somebody. I mean, I don't know what y'all thought was gonna happen when you did these things. What did you think? Quit feeling sorry for scumbags. That they don't feel sorry for you, and they'd kill you if given the chance. They'd victimize you, steal your shit, kill you, and you got all the sympathy for them, man. What's wrong with some of you? These people don't care about you. Wake up. These are criminals. These are gang members, violent fucking nuts. Got tattoos all over their faces. Shit, that crazy. They've killed people. That's why they're there. And you're like, what about reforming them? Reforming them for what, guy? You want to let them out? I don't want none of them out again. They killed somebody when they was out, so they don't get to come back out. And we're gonna take a risk of them killing again. Why would you do that? That's retarded. Come on, all people stupid. I'll be back. Reformation. God, you need to go to see God. That's that reality. Why do you go went to see God? It would be better off. You're holding us back as a nation. You're putting us all at risk. We're just trying to live, and you're like, let this lunatic, let him back out. And we're like, God damn it, man, we caught him. We got him put away. One less lunatic. You're like, no, we need him. Give him another chance. Dumb. Sorry, nerd, but we just gotta. We voted to overrule you. That's what we voted for. To just ignore you and get it done. So you can stand outside the prison and cry and weep and all that shit. They're going to prison. That's why we're going to send them to CCOT, so you can't stand outside and cry. You could fly a plane down to CCOT. I'm sure one of you idiots will. You'll be down there crying outside the cell. Let them out! Let them out. If only some gang member would have took over your apartment complex. CCOT, the eighth wonder of the world. Let's learn about it. Let's learn more about it. You're going when you set a Tesla on fire. See what they're gonna send you. I love that idea. I love that idea of taking that long-haired liberal off that plane, making a video and shaving his head and sticking him in there for setting that Tesla. I think it's hilarious. And it'll make these motherfuckers think twice. You got to put fear in these motherfuckers because they're out of control. That's why they elected Trump, to put fear in you. You did it to yourself. You did it to your fucking self. Show us this. It's gonna scare you.
I can tell you this, these were bad people. That was a bad group of, as I say, hombres. That was a bad group.
God, taking that little. I wrote fuck Trump on the side of a Tesla Charger and set it on fire. He was throwing like fucking cocktails up in the party. He was throwing shit like he was going crazy, setting shit. Lunatic. I had to see him put the. I want to see him. They got me. That make him bend over and walk. He's all shackled up. Elon derangement syndrome gets you to CCOT. Beautiful about that.
You take a look.
Hey, send him to the Ukraine front lines. Fuck it. I'm sure he defends a war over that.
You don't get worse than that.
We're going to get approval, hopefully, to get them the hell out of our country along with others. Let them be brought to a foreign land and maintained by others for a very small fee as opposed to be maintained in our jails for massive amounts of money, including the private prison companies that charge us a fortune. Now let them be brought out of our country and let them live there for a while. Let's see how they like it.
In direct defiance of a federal judge's ruling, the Trump administration has flown more than 250 accused migrant gang members to the notorious mega prison in El Salvador known as CCOT. But what is CCOT and what makes it El Salvador's most infamous clink? Built in 2023, nearly 50 miles from El Salvador's capital, CCOT, or
when you terrorize the community, kill women, children, kill men, we don't care what time you sleep. Fuck you. At least a lot of time.
Terrorism Confinement Center is the largest prison facility in Central America. Spanning 8 pavilions, which can hold up to 40,000 inmates, the prison has been internationally known for its horrendous conditions, with overcrowded quarters where groups of inmates are crammed into group cells with up to 70 prisoners for nearly 24 hours a day, and where inmates are lucky if they get a metal bunk to sleep on.
It's tense and uncomfortable. But here, officials say comfort isn't meant to exist.
There's no mattresses, there's no sheets. You've got a toilet over here for them to go to the bathroom. You've got this basin here that they use to bathe themselves. And then you can see there's a barrel of water that they can drink from.
The food provided is minimal, only beans and pasta, and rival gang members routinely fight to the death over food and water, while lights remain on 24 hours per day. Life in the prison means never seeing sunlight or members of the outside world. Prisoners have no access to books or letters from family. There are gyms, break rooms, and board games at CCOT, but those are for guards only. Since El Salvador's president Nayib Bukele cracked down on the country's gangs, CCOT has housed some of the country's most prolific killers and gangsters.
The facility is like nothing I've ever seen in my life, and I've had the opportunity to visit other areas in the world, other prisons in the world. This is highly organized. These people are detained.
The U.S. showed early interest in CCOT in July 2024, when then Representative Matt Gaetz visited the prison and gave it a glowing review for the way it handled criminals.
There's a lot more discipline in this prison than we see in a lot of the prisons in the United States, and there are a lot more murderers here. The people here have been doing a lot of killing. And in the United States, you get a mix in prison of people who've done a variety of things, but this is a concentrated effort to solve what was a terrible problem for the people of El Salvador. And so this is the solution. The solution is to separate the killers from the people who want to grow in their life and do more things for their neighbors and for their country.
In February, Secretary of State Marco Rubio met with Bukele to broker a deal in which the El Salvadorian leader agreed to house convicted U.S. citizens or deported criminal illegal migrants of any nationality into CCOT. Bukele revealed the first set of flights to CCOT included 238 members of the Venezuelan prison gang Tren de Aragua, as well as at least 21 members of MS-13.
It's literally a prison gang. And you guys are upset that they got sent there. And they're not even American citizens. They're not even supposed to. Why do we have to keep them in our fucking prison? And you know what I mean? That don't even make sense. These are gang members. Stop acting like these are innocent men who. They're gang members. What do you think? They sent some dude that runs a taco stand there? You really think they're that stupid to give you that? They're not going to give you that. They're not going to let that. It's not going to happen because they're not going to give you that ammunition to use against them. Well, you got some innocent man. You're like, oh, you sent an innocent man. No, they made sure these were some fucking gang members. And you're going to sit there and cry and defend them and all this shit. And if anybody really digs deep into this, I bet you're going to find all the shit these guys did. I bet you could already find it on the internet if you really went looking for it.
The deportations came just hours after U.S. District Judge James Boasberg temporarily blocked the Trump administration from invoking the 18th century Alien Enemies Act to swiftly boost the gangbangers from the country without a formal hearing. Trump's border czar Tom Homan defended the president's actions as, quote, the right thing.
The people of this country mandated President Trump deal with the border crisis, deal with illegal immigration, and deal with illegal alien crime, and that's exactly what we did. We removed terrorists. That should be a celebration. We removed terrorists from this country, and I stand by what the president did. I support 100%.
We can only hope the Tesla guy goes there. He probably won't, though. He didn't murder nobody. Oh my God, one of you idiots is going to murder some Tesla owner, and you're going to go here. That'll be a great video. And we'll have you on video because it's...
What you see behind me is the world's strictest...
So we'll have you on video murdering the Tesla owner, and then we'll follow that up with you getting dragged in a CCOT. Perfect.
Largest prison. This mega prison has a capacity of 40,000. Prisoners here are the most unsafe people you can even imagine. How many people's lives have you ended?
I'm sure those guys right there.
More than 50.
MS-13 and many other gangs.
We
These
need
are
them.
animals. These aren't people.
They're psychopaths, sociopaths, the kind of people we have here.
We are about to see the worst of the worst.
Welcome to CCOT, the world's largest prison by capacity in El Salvador, which was constructed to imprison the highest profile criminals. Those who enter this prison are destined never to leave alive.
There's no way out. How are you gonna come out of this?
The reason why this small country of 6 million needs the largest prison is the gangs. Once dominating the country, these gangs faced a dramatic crackdown starting in March 2022. Under President Nayib Bukele's administration, over 70,000 individuals, about 2%.
I like that he said that, though. Like, hey, maybe we'll send him to CCOT, because you know that liberal's in a cell somewhere, shaking, thinking about, man, it's Trump, because he's fully Trump deranged. Oh my God, Trump's just going to send me there, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. He's Hitler. He's going to send me. Which I'm telling you, there's no way they're going to let him send that guy. He didn't kill nobody. And he's an American citizen. They're not going to send him to CCOT. But the fact that he'll think that that's going to happen is hilarious.
Percent of the country's adult population were arrested within just 16 months. Buses transported thousands of chained gang members to CCOT in a tightly coordinated nighttime operation. Sitting one behind the other, heads lowered, they looked like a single mass. Surrounded by armed guards, none of them dared to resist commands. Their life has changed in a day. In this documentary, we will interview one of them, one of the most ruthless gang leaders, known by the nickname Psycho. Built in 2022, this massive prison is made up of 8 separate modules spread over 410 acres of land. Each pair of modules is enclosed by 2 separate 3-meter-high walls with razor wire. The entire facility is surrounded by a towering 9-meter-high wall with a 3-meter-high electric fence carrying 15,000 volts. 19 watchtowers are ensuring nothing escapes notice. The entire design doesn't just prevent escape, it erases the very idea of it. Hello.
Hello, we have permission from the presidency.
The soldiers stopped us. We're hoping this will be the last checkpoint. The jammers blocked all signals within a 2-kilometer radius of CCOT, completely cutting off all communication. Over 600 soldiers work only to secure the perimeter.
We are going to leave all of our belongings here.
Oh, you ain't standing outside that one.
We will only carry our cameras
they'll be
and
taking you in.
That's it.
Pass slowly. Look at the camera. The body scan.
I forgot my wedding ring on.
Well, that needs to be put away over there.
This high-capacity X-ray scanner even shows bones and internal organs. It's mainly used to scan newcomers, ensuring no one tries to sneak in anything forbidden on their body before entering.
The inmates used to swallow some objects, or they would try to bring them in vaginally or anally. Micro SD memory cards, microchips, and not only that, even phone charges.
Another thorough body search has been conducted.
Take off your shoes.
They even inspected inside our socks. It took us around 1 hour just to pass through security, even though we were invited as media after months of applying.
Guards are wearing masks because they're doing a risky job here. So if they get identified, it might be riskier for them to go to town centers because these gangs, they have a lot of connections. So they have to keep their identity secret. Why don't you wear a mask?
I have to talk to them face to face, looking them in the eye. They already know who I am.
We're in the registration room. This area is for inmates.
You should have said, I ain't no bitch.
It's only.
I wish they would get me on the street. I'll kill them there.
When a criminal is captured on the street, they don't carry ID or give their real name. That's why their fingerprints and photographs are taken here to enroll in the system.
He kind of looks like a fat slob, but you know he'd kill you with his bare hands.
Once they become a permanent part of CCOT, the inmates lose all contact with loved ones for the rest of their lives, as family visits are strictly forbidden. It's also important to note that a small number of innocent people were mistakenly imprisoned during the big crackdown. Because of the no-contact policy, their families have no idea where they are or if they are still alive. For some, this documentary could be their first chance to see a missing loved one. Before entering the modules where the inmates are, we visit the armory of the prison. This section is a must in case of possible riots, and these convicts are the most unsafe people on earth.
The type of firearm we use is a T65 rifle, similar to the M16 rifle. We also have this other firearm, which is a 12-gauge shotgun. A Sig Sauer rifle allows us to maneuver in spaces that are too tight to move.
Whenever criminals are arrested and dragged to the bus, various cuffs and chains are used to restrict their movements and minimize the risk of harm to officers.
Has there ever been a riot?
So far, there have been no escape attempts. We have the worst of the worst within criminal organizations here.
The riot gear consists of a head protection, a face shield, neck protection, an anti-trauma vest, leg protectors, shin guards, and of course, a shield.
Generally, in the prisons, we see inmates invent any kind of handmade weapon, like awls or knives.
They are fully protected. You can see how he protects his feet. Since this prison is so large, we have to hop on this bus. We are entering the module area.
To keep the country safe, 1,000 staff members work inside CCOT.
It is impossible, but let's just imagine that an inmate get out of the fortress. These pebbles that you see are put here intentionally because when they walk on these pebbles, it works like an alarm system. It makes a noise, they cannot sneak away.
Have they tried to escape? No. Could they try? Difficult, because they would have to go through a series of security rings.
CCOT was built with its own infrastructure in an isolated area, including an electrical and sewage system to prevent external interference. In case of an electricity cut or water supply issue, the cisterns and power plants will maintain operations for up to a week.
I'm so excited. We're gonna be face to face with the most dangerous criminals in the world. It is pretty tense. We are entering one of the modules now.
You are seeing the third and fourth modules next to each other. An offender who enters one of these buildings never exits through these doors.
Wow.
In a few steps, we'll be surrounded by more than 2,500 inmates.
To go in there, it's over.
It's like stepping in the middle of controlled chaos.
This is so intense.
Their eyes are all on me, following my every step.
Getting an eye contact with them. There are so many of them. I'm speechless. I can't help but feel unease. All of them wear white shirts, shorts, and slippers. They don't have any other belongings.
Most are barely out of their early 20s and convicted of serious offenses. Even the most infamous criminals in history have an average of 20 to 30 proven victims. But here, some of the inmates are responsible for hundreds of innocent people's lives.
Can I ask the inmates something?
No. If you have any questions, I can answer them for you.
If they try to communicate with me now, what are you going to do?
I'm not going to allow them. They know from them that subsequently there may be a penalty for not abiding by an instruction.
I'm curious to know which of these group leaders I'll be interviewing.
It is forbidden for us to pass this yellow line because these are one of the most dangerous human beings on Earth.
Without the bars between us, everyone knows exactly what could happen. There are 32 cells in every one of the 8 modules making up the mega prison. Each cell holds around 80 inmates, but the number can go as high as 150. Despite not being at full capacity, the inmates only have 0.5 square meters of personal space each. Prisoners do not have any ventilation rights or courtyards to walk outside their cell.
Each inmate here have been given one of the longest sentences you can even imagine in your life. The only thing that doesn't change that all these inmates will never get outside. They will never see sunlight. The only people are authorized to get inside and outside are the personnel and sometimes media like us. They will never ever leave this building. If you see their look, you can see the emptiness in their soul. They don't have any hope towards future. They look very robotic. Their life is so monotone.
This open corner is their toilet area.
They have like 2 toilets for 80 inmates. It's literally humiliating these inmates. Like their whole confidence is disciplined here.
The same place where they use the toilet is also where they take showers. To clean themselves, they use plastic dippers in a single shared basin. There's no running water in the cells, so the prisoners have to rely on one blue barrel for drinking water.
Where they sleep is these metal bunks. No pillow, no mattress. Each prisoner receives just the bare essentials: a white sheet, a uniform, socks, slippers, and a towel. That's it.
The prisoners spend their entire days on their 4-level bunk beds. They have stacked tightly, like items stored in a warehouse. As part of hygiene,
And it's like, you got to really think about, like, you got that sheet. Well, maybe you could choke somebody to death with that sheet and kill them, but then they're probably going to take the sheet, and you're not going to have a sheet. So it's probably like, at a certain point, you've been in there so long that they'll probably fuck somebody up for trying to even, like, you know what I mean, cause any problem. Because it's just gonna, it seems like they're already in there 23 hours a day. Like, if they was to have to lock it down, really crack down, it ain't gonna be good. It ain't gonna be pleasant. And there's no way out of there. So you can be a tough guy in there, and I mean, god damn, it ain't gonna go well for you, though, I don't think. I mean, they give them a little fucking sheet. Huddle up in that sheet, man. And if you start doing stuff with that sheet, trying to make rope or something with that, they're going to take your sheet. They ain't going to have a sheet. You're just laying there shivering with your hands in your shirt.
and order, inmates are shaved every 2 weeks by personnel. Long hair or beards aren't just unhygienic, they can also hide sharp objects.
Let's take a look. Take off your shirt and line up here.
Now they are taking their shirts off.
These inmates were once part of the MS-13 and Barrio 18 gangs, which controlled the neighborhoods of El Salvador. These two rival gangs spent years extorting money from locals and causing great suffering to Salvadorans.
There is Barrio 18, MS-13 gangs, all together in one cell.
That's right, just like that. The entire module is the same. They all live like this.
Outside, entering each other's neighborhood could mean being torn apart. Yet here, they are side by side until their last breath.
They cut you down. They take the sheet from you. They unwrap it from your neck. Nah, man. You're gonna fuck up. We ain't gonna have no sheets, man. These ain't stupid people, man. Ruling over towns and shit. Extorting people and shit. I mean, when you're in this situation, there's no way to get out. Like that one dude said, there's no way out of here. There's an electric fence and little pebbles outside. If you get out of all these walls, they're going to hear you and they're going to pop you with a sniper rifle from them towers. There's no way to get out. So you can't really do stuff that's going to be counterproductive. Make your situation even worse.
Attacking one another.
You say people fight and kill each other over food and shit in there and water and shit, but I wonder what happens if one of them kills somebody in there. Like, what happens? What do they do? I want to learn about that.
Have to learn how to live together. Here, they are in a prison.
What's the
they are not on the street.
on that?
Most of the inmates have tattoos covering their entire bodies, even including their faces, showing their loyalty structure. For MS-13, tattoos often include initial letters or the number 13. Members of the other gang use symbols like 18 or 666, which add up to 18 and symbolize the devil, or they use Roman numerals. Having gang tattoos on one's face is a clear sign that they are one of the most ruthless and high-ranking members of the organization. Crossing paths with such a person on the street is the same as staring death in the face. A spiderweb tattoo represents being caught in the web of justice and serving a long prison sentence. The devil horns tattoo is a dark symbol that represents these individuals' worship of the devil. Some even claim that they carried out their actions under the devil's command. A teardrop tattoo signifies that the person has ended someone's life. The number of teardrops indicates how many lives they've taken. If there are 3 teardrops, it suggests that the tattoo's owner has taken so many lives that they've lost count. With the phrase "laugh now, cry later," these masks or clown tattoos send a clear message. Stay strong in the face of hardship now and deal with the consequences later.
Are all these people truly bad?
They're on another level. High-profile criminals who will never change their mentality.
You ain't digging a tunnel in there. Where are you gonna dig a tunnel?
At the upside, there's a catwalk area.
The lights are on all day. They're staring at you.
Watch over the inmates
What are you digging
from
a
this
tunnel?
elevated spot above the cells.
What are you digging a tunnel with? You think they're giving them spoons?
Anything suspicious occurs, they will intervene while an extensive network of cameras observes every
It'll
corner.
be interesting though, because you know eventually they'll try to get out. Someone's going to try to get out of this. And that'll be interesting to see how that goes. I don't think it's going to go well though.
24/7, ensuring nothing goes unnoticed. The modules are kept lit all day and night for monitoring. When the sun goes down, the lights stay on all the time.
They are constantly being observed. I think this is one of the hardest things. When they try to sleep, they use their towels and cover their eyes to block the light. Preacher here is teaching some of the important lessons from the Bible to the inmates.
Everything's in the dark. No, they see you. They're looking right at you all day.
This is the only time these inmates get out of their cells.
These activities take place for a total of 1 hour per week, under the watch of armed guards. For the rest of the time, they are locked inside. They used to control the streets. Now, they can't even take a step with their free will.
It's a rotating schedule. There's not enough space, so they can't all go out on the same day.
Has there ever been a chaotic incident when these inmates were outside of their cells?
So far, nothing.
Whenever we focus the camera on a cell, we often catch a prisoner silently mouthing words. Even behind bars, gang members attempt to send orders to the outside. This prisoner was doing just that, but we censored him to block the message. Despite the crackdown, these groups still hold significant power outside. Rumors suggest they have plans for taking revenge by targeting innocent people. But in response, the authorities threaten to impose even harsher measures on imprisoned members.
If they do that, there won't even be one meal in prison. Uno. I swear to God, they won't eat a grain of rice. Let's see how long their homeboys last inside.
Here they get 3 meal times, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
You won't eat nothing, bitch.
Breakfast is usually
Settle
beans
down.
and rice.
You ain't killing nothing.
For lunch, they get white rice and
No
pasta.
food.
And dinner's pretty much the same. The only thing that changes is the drink.
Where do I watch that speech?
There's no nutritious food like chicken or meat. This is the lunch. It's rice, pasta, and 2 tortillas.
Does the menu vary from day to day?
No.
Is it the same every day?
It's always the same. It's for freshmen.
Okay. It's a sugary drink. I'm going to taste it for myself.
Inmates must eat with their hands and clean their plates before returning them. With a diet lacking in protein, many likely suffer from nutritional deficiencies. Before starting our interview with an inmate, I want to show you one more place that is even more extreme than what you've seen so far.
Here we are in the isolation cell area. If inmates break a rule, they can be sent to these isolation cells according to the legislation. The law gives me the right to keep the prisoners in isolation for up to 15 days. These cells have sealed doors. Through this grid, I can see them and identify who's inside. We serve food here, and we also use this space to put handcuffs on them before opening the door to move them from here to their cell.
Welcome to the isolation cell. If an inmate misbehaves, this is where he ends up. He won't know the time or how much longer he'll be kept inside. For days or even weeks, he sleeps on this concrete bed without ever leaving. They are cut off from the outside world, left alone with nothing but their thoughts.
This is where they supply their water. There's a water basin here. They take their water here, and this is where they pee.
The basin for drinking water and the toilets are located side by side. The toilet looks recently used and dirty, suggesting that this cell has recently been used. The only light they have is this little hole that barely lets the sunshine in. This openness is also the sole source of fresh air.
What is the most challenging thing about isolation room according to you?
Inside, you don't even see your hands. So when someone is isolated, it is necessary for them to have something, a book, anything, to keep their mind clear. But here, they don't have access to any of that. No matter how tough a criminal is, this kind of isolation breaks them. This is necessary for the type of offenders that we have here. People who once played God by deciding who would live and who wouldn't live deserve the worst punishment. We don't show them mercy. They can ask for forgiveness.
He ain't fucking playing. He ain't got a mask on. Talking shit. You going in this motherfucking cell, boy. You think you're so tough with your tattoos on you? You're going in this cell.
Justice must be served.
This guy's
so
a
many
fucking
victims,
menace.
and it's the least they deserve.
Now we're going to interview the inmate known as Psycho. He has a 34-year criminal history.
I'm telling you, that guy right there is a danger. He don't even look. That guy is a dangerous motherfucker, I bet.
25 years as a high-ranking member of an organization.
Because he's putting them in the fucking solitary cell. And he's on camera like, yeah, that's where they need to be. I'm going to break these motherfuckers. No mask, nothing.
10 minutes. You only have 10 minutes.
12 guards are barely enough to ensure the safety around this inmate.
Remove the mask.
What is your name?
My name is Marvin Ernesto Medrano Vasquez.
How old are you?
I'm 41 years old.
You don't look 41. You look younger, like 35.
That's a good.
And if he tries to make a move, hit this dude, he's gonna put him in that fucking cell. So you gotta be out of your fucking, you gotta be dumb to even try something right now.
What
are you gonna do?
Can I see your...
You're gonna get beat up by all these guards, and they're going in this dark fucking cell with a little hole in the ceiling. Fuck that. You might as well just behave yourself. Go back to your cell.
Tattoos?
There ain't even a possibility
When
of
did you join this crime organization?
In 2004, but I started my criminal record since I was 11 years old.
How did you first become involved?
When somebody's born with just a mom and the mom is working, you look for the streets. You look for somebody to help you out. I said, oh, my mom's poor. I need some shoes. I need some clothes. And I started robbing. Then I need a father figure because I didn't grow up with my father. And then I looked at the group of gangs.
12 motherfucking dudes in there. Or 11 or 12
and I came right here
guards
to El Salvador,
with
trying to
fucking
change my
riot gear
life.
on.
But I seen that there were more gangs right here. And I started doing the same thing I did upstate. And I got locked up. I've always been one of them persons that wanted to accomplish the things that they put in their mind, and I accomplished everything I had to do right here. But I'm right here. This is how the devil pays the people.
Yeah. Is it true that to join this crime organization you need to end someone's life?
Yeah.
But the first one must be one of your relatives, right?
Yeah, because you got to gain territory for your gang. I lost my mom, my dad, my son, everything right here because of the gangs. When I could be with my family, upstate, the United States, a better life. But, you know, we took wrong decisions, and this is the cause of this. That's why I tell the youth, go to school, listen to your mom, listen to your dad. Don't live this life that we live right here. There's no way out.
How many people's lives have you ended? Is it 5 or 10? How many?
No, if you talk about what you used to do in the jails after, it probably get a few more than 50. You gotta do it sometimes.
How did you become cold-blooded and
He done killed 50 motherfuckers. New York man, like let him out. Let him out. Bring him to America.
How do you feel about not seeing your family forever since you're in Sakat?
I feel bad because I seen my son the last time when he was 5 years old, and he's 21 years old right now. I want to see him. I want to tell him, don't do the same things that your dad did. Look for a good life.
People who have fallen victim because of you will never see their loved ones again. You will also never see your family. How do you cope with emotions like missing someone?
I feel bad. Sometimes, like I tell you, I lay down on my bed and I think a lot of things, and sometimes I cry.
What is your motivation to stay alive here?
To one day change my life and look for God in my life, and I tell God, forgive me because I did some things.
Okay. Finally, we see the sunlight. Honestly, Sakat is a place you will never wish to end up in, even as a visitor. But for the people who victimized Salvadorans, it is now their forever home. These criminals took the innocent people's right to live, and now they're paying for it. The Salvadoran government's message is clear. Crime is no longer tolerated and the punishment is severe.
El Salvador once had the highest rate of lives lost due to widespread chaos. During its peak, 104 out of every 100,000 people lost their lives in a single year. Previous administrations agreed to a truce with these groups, but this couldn't bring lasting order. Although the current government's methods are controversial, by 2023, the number dramatically dropped to 2.4 per 100,000 people, placing El Salvador among the safest countries in the world for the first time.
So far, the results are undeniable. Peace has returned to the neighborhoods. But what about those who were wrongfully imprisoned? Is it true justice or way to control chaos? Are we seeing a lasting solution or just a temporary fix? For now, the answer remains unclear, and the world continues to watch. Thank you for watching this documentary. See you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe. Ruhi Chenet was here.
Send that guy that set that Tesla charge. Send him there. Why not? That's too much. That's too far. Send the guy that keyed the guy's Tesla with his key. Send him. Hey, spell that guy's name. He said not 1 mil. You keep fucking around, not 1 mil. Look at him. Look at that guy. That guy, I can't believe it. That guy. That fucking guy. Oh, Lord. Right to see God. That guy, I can't believe it. Oh, this guy right here, look at him. He's like, what in the fuck is this? Look at him. What is this? You know, some liberals weeping. Some of that poor killed a bunch of people. That poor guy. Taking out the trash, New York man. You're done raping all women. Your ass going to CCOT.
César Eliseo Sortomaya.
Easy!
Trump said, get your ass out of here, self-deport. You should have left. They took that gang shit back to Venezuela, my God. Now you're in this fucking slave. Now you're in CCOT. That don't make you self-deport, what will? What? Get out of here. Tom Homan ain't fucking with you. $75,000 in prison. 92% approval. So I guess it's working out. Where's that speech where he's like, you ain't gonna get no food? You wanna play games? See, this is what happens. See, it should be a lesson to you when you let things spiral out of control. People can take over and do what they want.
In El Salvador, Nayib Bukele has claimed victory in the presidential election, even though no official results have been released. He's been credited with sharply reducing the murder rate. Last year, the murder rate fell to its lowest in 3 decades, but he's faced criticism over human rights violations and the methods used to tackle violent crime. Here's our Latin American correspondent, Will Grant, who's in El Salvador's capital, San Salvador.
He's claimed victory that it's a huge margin. He's saying that he's got somewhere in the region of over 85%. And now that the partial results are coming in, it looks like with a quarter of the votes counted, he does have somewhere in the region.
New York, man, when criminal gangs are terrorizing the country and killing innocent people, and it's a serious thing. It's like, this is a big problem. You just got the statistics read to you not that long ago, so you know how big of a problem it was. And when you fix that problem, people support you because people don't want to live under that. So if the choice is between this guy here or all these criminal gangs, well, the choice is easy. And nobody cares about the human rights of these criminal gangs because they've been killing people and terrorizing the community for so long that people realize these people don't care about human rights. You've got to realize that this thing of using people's morals against them is over with. People have caught on to that, and they've realized that the people that are doing it are immoral themselves, and they want to use my morals against me, and they want me to feel bad for the worst of the worst. But when it comes time to feel bad for innocent people, when they're suffering, well, we find no empathy from people like you. We find nothing but hate. So everyone saw that, saw it during COVID, saw it during Biden, saw it over and over again, and they don't care anymore. And that's a good thing. We don't owe these criminal scumbags a goddamn thing.
Of 1,100,000 votes, and his nearest challenger just 94,000. So with his estimate of somewhere in the region of 85% of the vote, he's probably not wrong once all of the votes are tallied. He's also saying that they've taken the Legislative Assembly, the National Assembly, by a huge margin, all but 2 seats. He's saying that.
No meal. Right here. No meal. I need English though. Telemundo, Telemundo. Give me English, English. Because they thought, well, we'll terrorize the community and make him release them. No, you start terrorizing the community more, guess what? It's gonna get worse. That's how you deal with thugs. Don't you realize that? When you got thug criminal gangs, you kind of need a thug on your side. One day you'll grow up and realize that. That we got tired of victimized, so we go get our own thug. We choose him over you because, yeah, he's better than you. He, might be a little thug himself, though. But you got to have a little bit of thug in you to go against these thugs. You got to, fight fire with fire. That's how you get a dictator. Now, I've explained this over the years many times to you. You get a dictator when you let things spiral out of control and innocent people are suffering, and then some dude comes along and says, I'll deal with this shit. Fuck the law, fuck the bullshit, I'll deal with it. And then people say, hell yeah, somebody's going to deal with it finally. Now, if you want to avoid, usually that dictator shit don't go well, It might start well, but, usually don't end well. But if you can prevent having a dictator. You just have to stop the bullshit. You have to realize that some things aren't worth fighting over. You don't need to defend these criminal gangs and stuff. I don't even know why you're doing it. Doesn't make any sense to anybody. And when we see a large portion of the population defending this shit, we realize that we got a serious problem. So we got to vote for, you're putting up a candidate that endorses all your ideas, and those ideas are insane. So we only have a choice of the other person, and whoever that is, that's just who it is. We got to vote for them. You do this to yourself. You are your own worst enemy. And if you want to get rid of people like Trump and this guy, then you have to stop the shit. You have to elect people that are kind of middle of the road, but they have sense, and they're like, yeah, we got to deal with these gangs, but we deal with it in a different way, but that way's got to work. You can't just keep saying you're going to do something and not doing it and letting it get worse. Got to stop that. And you've done that in El Salvador to the point where people just said, fuck it. And of course, I believe he's got a 90% something approval rating because they had a serious problem and he fixed it. What do you think's going to happen when that happens? You got to realize that you're not in the majority with just the defending of degeneracy and criminals and gangs, and you're fucking weird. I just don't know why you all want to. I don't get it.
Presidente de El Salvador, Nayib Bukele, sigue adelante.
So you can't get no answers on this one. I don't speak the language. Nope. Don't feed them nothing. It's a warning. Like, if you start your shit, I ain't gonna feed nobody nothing. Fuck them. They'll starve to death. And when people think, man, he'll really do that. He'll really do that. You don't ever have to do it. Don't you understand? You never have to do that because people believe you'll do it. But if people won't believe you won't do shit, they'll walk all over you. These are violent gangs, bro. That dude said he killed over 50 people, man. How do you think you handle somebody like that? You think that you fucking can just pat him on the back, give him, I mean, come on, man. Y'all are dumb. Some of y'all are, you're like little kids. You're little kids. This is how you get dictatorship. And this guy happens to be like, yeah, he's doing all this, but he's doing it to these fucking thugs that kill people. So, yeah, he's doing some dictator shit, but he's doing it to people that, who the fuck wants to live next door to them? So it's hard as a citizen of that country to be against him. I mean, what are you defending, these gangs? And you've lived there and you know what these gangs have been doing. You know what you've been living under. And you want to go back to that? I doubt many people want to go back to that. Why would they vote against him? I mean, what? Did it to yourself. There probably was a time to handle it differently. And you just kept letting it escalate and escalate and escalate. You saw that documentary. They talked about how the previous administration was making deals with the gangs. What are you doing? Why are you making deals with these gangs that are killing people? Like, he came in and said, nah, I'm getting rid of these motherfuckers. And you're shocked that he won. He's got a high approval. And you got to lie to yourself. He's making it up. I mean, come on, man. Eventually, you got to stop living fantasies, and you got to realize that there's a reason dictators win elections. There's a reason they get into power. And this guy will probably be in power for a long time. Because why would you vote him out? Why would you want to get rid of him when he's so effective at the number one problem facing your country, which is gangs killing everything. It's going wild, ruling over whole neighborhoods, ruling over whole towns. You saw how many motherfuckers they had in that cell. Those people used to be running around, terrorizing. Yeah, he put people with guns on the street, soldiers and shit. That should, instead of going, oh, that's crazy, what is he doing? What you ought to be thinking is, damn, it must have been so bad there. Like, holy shit. It must have been a nightmare there to have to, you got to put soldiers on the streets. That's how bad it was. And when you got statistics to back that up, where it was one of the most dangerous countries to now one of the most safest, well, clearly it was a problem. So while this may look strange to you, if you live there, you might be saying, nah, we need these motherfuckers outside. Because it's better to have the military outside than these gang members. Wouldn't you agree? And see, that's the choice you leave when you don't handle things early and you get control of these situations. You let them spiral out of control. Eventually, the public goes, fuck it, I'd rather have a soldier here. Because I'm going to have some guy with a gun outside my apartment. I'd rather have the soldier than the gang member. I'm choosing the soldier. Now, you don't ever have to let it get to that choice, but if you keep with this liberal dumb shit, feeling sorry for these motherfuckers. Eventually, people are going to say, give me the soldier. Give me soldiers on the street versus give. And there's problems having soldiers on the street. But I'd rather deal with the soldier than the crazy, violent MS-13 guy with tattoos all over his face because he kills people like crazy. I'm choosing the soldier. Y'all leave. It's just like our border having the military on it now. You let situations get so out of hand. You gaslight and tell people it's not happening. They come in, they're raping women, beating their heads in with rocks and shit, and you laugh about it and think it's funny to the point where people go, all right, fuck it, we're voting Trump and he can do what he wants. Send you to CCOT. I don't give a shit. You did that to yourself. And the moment you start realizing you've done all this to yourself, then you'll start to recover. Then you might start to gain some ground back. But as long as you keep fucking lying to yourself that somehow you're a victim and somehow Trump won because everybody's a racist and they're crazy, you're going to keep losing. Because you can't even accept why you're losing in the first place. You can't be real about it. You're in a fantasy. You think burning down Tesla is going to win the election. It's the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. And you keep on, we'll have a bukalele type motherfucker here. Keep on. Keep on letting these lunatics run the streets and kill and rape, kidnap people's children, all this crazy shit we see. And then you let these pedophiles out and they go kidnapping them. And we see it time and time again. We see it. You keep on letting that happen. Eventually, some guy's going to run. Problem's going to get bad enough to where people are just, it's all they talk about. And then somebody's going to run and say, I'm going to deal with it. I'll take this pedophile out back, blow his brains out, and he'll win 95% of the vote. Because people will say, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. Children can't go outside. This is insane. All you got to do is just go, yeah, put him in prison. Put him in prison for life. Don't you realize that's the humane way to handle it? Well, let's put him in prison for life. We'll be done with it. What most people want to do with that pedophile is take him out back. But if you would just calm your ass down, defending every degenerate lunatic there is, and say, yeah, that guy probably shouldn't be walking the streets, then people would say, oh, awesome. We reached an agreement. Put him in jail. And that'd be the end of it. But you don't do that. Oh, he can be reformed. He can be, and then he gets out and he rapes another kid. And that just keeps happening, And that's how we're going to get a dictator. That's how eventually some guy's going to come along and say, I will take him out back and shoot him on the White House lawn. And we're going to say, fuck, finally somebody with some balls. Because we can't do nothing. We can't put him in prison. Now they keep letting him out. I mean, what the hell? You do this to yourselves. When you going to get a clue? How many times I got to tell your dumb ass that everything you do helps Trump? Now, you done seen Trump come back, win the election, and you still want to argue with me. You still want to tell me you know more than me. You don't know more than me. I done told you. The reason you got Trump again is because you acted a fool last 4 years. You got rid of Trump, and then you fucked around, got him right back. Dumb. You're dumb. I mean, what more can you say? I don't think you'll ever get a clue. I don't think you'll ever get it. That's why I think your party's just done. It's going to completely collapse because you're never going to get a clue. You're never going to stop. And that's a good thing for the rest of us because we don't have to live under your bullshit. We can just slowly get rid of you. You'll have no power. And the ones that get violent, we'll send them to CCOT. And the rest of you will come to your senses and go, well, I shouldn't get violent. And you'll go sit down. Just go sit down. You know? Biden won the election and we wasn't burning cars and, oh, we shot a beer can. Get it? Are you fucking dorks? Y'all was boycotting Bud Light and saying you wasn't going to go to Target. You're comparing that to burning people's cars? What in the world? They think it's the same thing. That's what they're lost. They think that's the same thing. Same exact shit. There ain't no difference in it. I mean, what type of guy you think you need to elect to go after these gang members, these criminal organizations? A pussy? A bitch? I mean, what's the type of leader you think you're gonna get to handle that? A dictator. Idiot. You idiots. You could have handled the problem a long time ago without a dictator. You could have just had some sense. You could have been 1% dictator and handled the issue, right? But you didn't. So then, like, 80% dictator showed up and dealt with you. Just handle it early. When it starts to become a problem, people are going, man, what's going on with these gangs? Well, we better deal with that. Now we'll make a deal with them. What the fuck kind of leadership is that? We'll make a deal with the people killing the citizens. You're the president of the country, you make a deal. And this guy said, I ain't making a fucking deal. Fuck them. Takes balls. You couldn't have done. None of you have the balls to do what this guy did. You don't have the balls to stand up to these gangs and say, I'm taking them down. You don't have it. And he's such a bad guy. What? Because he put fucking gang members in a prison? I don't know. God, Smokey's so bad. That's the bad thing he did? Well, some innocent people got put in there. Well, I mean, why were they hanging out with gang members, you know? Maybe you shouldn't hang out with gang members. Once again, though, when you let the problem get so out of control, yeah, some innocent people might get caught up in it because you've let it spiral out of control. So some innocent people are going to get caught up when we have to take drastic measures to start grabbing motherfuckers, rounding up all these motherfuckers and putting them in. Got these tattoos all over your face? Yep, you're going too. But yep. See you later. There might be some guy with a Pokemon on his, well, we didn't know. Maybe you should have thought about that. They're like, well, some of these illegals that they sent there, they just had tattoos, and that's how they decided to send them there. No, I bet there was more to it than that, dumbass. You think these goddamn people don't know what these tattoos mean on their bodies? You think these ICE motherfuckers don't know what these tattoos represent? You think there ain't a fucking pamphlet with all these tattoos in it that they study and shit? Are you retarded? They know what your tattoos are. They know what they're dealing with. These are professionals that deal with these types of people all the time. They didn't grab somebody because he had a Harry Potter tattoo on his wrist, okay? Grow up, you fucking idiot. Well, he had gang tattoos, but he's not in a gang. I swear to God that I read that on a tweet somewhere. Some liberal was saying that this dude had tattoos and they were gang tattoos, but he was just a fan of the gang. I swear to God I read that. Swear I seen that. I should have bookmarked it. Like, what? I didn't see nobody in that video shed a tear. Because gang members ain't in there crying when they're getting pulled in there, having a nervous breakdown. Because they know they've killed a ton of people. They know. Just like that guy was sitting there. He knows he's supposed to be there. He knows why he's there. He ain't fucking stupid. It's not a mystery to him why he's sitting in there. None of these people there, it's not a mystery that why they're in there. They're not confused. They know what they did. You feel sorry for them. They probably don't even feel sorry for themselves. Saw that guy. He killed like 50 people. He said, I did it to myself. I'm here because I did it to myself. He ain't fucking lying to himself. You lying to yourselves about these people. You're dumb as a rock. The gang member got more sense than you. That's crazy, ain't it? Gang member got more sense than you. Gang member's like, yeah, there's a reason I'm here, yeah. There's a reason they put me here, definitely. And you're sitting there going, that's a little much. I don't. And he's like, yeah, it's serious shit. I did some serious shit though to get here. That's what he said. It's serious, but I did a lot of shit. And you're sitting there crying. And you don't come to your senses. By the way, what's under the pyramid? You seen that shit about the pyramids? What's under these pyramids? Let's get off the gangs. We've talked about no gangs. Prisons. Why does YouTube keep doing this? What's going on?
Dude, this new pyramid that's just come out?
Oh, this is insane. Yeah, I was going to send this to you as well, Jamie. I'll send you one of the most comprehensive breakdowns of it on X.
Look at this shit
because it's quite stunning.
Supposedly under the pyramid.
So apparently, through the use of LiDAR, they have discovered that there are enormous structures underneath the Great Pyramid that go kilometers deep into the earth with coils. So enormous pillars, and then these coils. They don't understand what it is because they're just looking at LiDAR images. But whatever this is a uniform structure. There's several pillars, and all of this is like very, very, very weird.
Yeah, 600 meters descending down those cylinders, and then there's more stuff below it, and then there's additional structures inside of it. Yeah, that was crazy.
It's really crazy. There's a guy, Jay Anderson, and he did a breakdown of it. Maybe this would be good. We could play this.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we need somebody that's an expert here, not me and you.
Zawi Hawass, by the way, has said it's nonsense. So I don't know.
Already?
Yes. According to Graham Hancock. This is the wonderful thing about having Graham Hancock.
I texted Graham yesterday. I was like, yeah, what's going on with this?
Yeah. So click on that and go full screen, please.
How significant of a discovery this is.
Dun, dun, dun. I love the music. And geometry, so you know it's real.
You got to appreciate the dramatic intro.
Project Unity.
What has just been announced in relation to the pyramids at the Giza Plateau and the plateau itself is so incredible, so awe-inspiring and narrative-shattering that I have been sitting here for the last hour trying to wrap my head around the implications of what we were just told. So this is pretty much breaking news because the new findings were announced on the 16th of March at a press conference held by the team who were studying the Great Pyramid of Giza with a non-invasive technology that was first developed by Filippo Bionde and Corrado Malanga called synthetic aperture radar Doppler tomography.
That's a mouthful.
This was used to explore the internal structure of the Great Pyramid of Giza. And this method leverages the analysis of micro movements typically generated by background seismic activity to achieve a high resolution full 3D tomographic imagery of the pyramid's interior and subsurface components. The recent findings from deploying this technology are nothing short of mind-blowing, because what's been discovered is that there are huge structures coming down from the base of the pyramid deep into the bedrock, in fact over 600 meters deep, which then connects to structures that extend up to 2 kilometers below the surface of the ground. 2 kilometers. Massive internal structures connected to the base of the pyramid and extending deep, deep down. This is what we know so far.
What does your friend think about it?
Which friend?
The one that you said it's bullshit.
Oh, that's not my friend. That's Zawi Hawass.
Okay.
Zawi Hawass is the head of antiquities in Egypt. He's like the head guy that talks to the archaeologists and gives the official narrative. In the past, he's been extremely hostile to Graham Hancock, but Graham Hancock.
Oh yes, I do know this guy.
Coordinating. Graham is a lovely guy. People that like are enemies with him just need to get to know him and hang out with him. He's a genuine, real human being who's trying to find the truth. He doesn't have fake narratives, and he's so sensitive too. Like he's so upset. Like when people smeared him, like the Atlantis thing, they were trying to say it's a white supremacist idea to look for Atlantis. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? Like we had this guy Flint Dibble on, who in an article, and he was talking about Graham, and he's connecting Graham to white supremacy and all this crazy because of the Atlantis theory. It's the way they dismiss Atlantis.
It pedestalizes white heritage.
Because some people in the past who have theorized about Atlantis had white supremacist ideas. But also, most people didn't. Like Plato didn't. Like the people that talked about this place, it's in sub-Saharan Africa. I mean, it's like the least white supremacist discovery of all time, as are the pyramids. This is Africa. It's the least white supremacist notion of all time that this incredibly advanced ancient civilization had reached some sort of proficiency that's above and beyond what we attribute to them. I think Graham is right. And I think there's a lot of other people that are right, too, that are chasing this down. And Christopher Dunn had long ago theorized and wrote a book that he believes that the Great Pyramid of Giza is a gigantic power plant. He thinks it generates power, and he has a very like a working theory of why it's built the way it's built. That totally coincides with the ability to produce hydrogen, the ability to utilize the rays of space and try to find some way to generate electricity through this.
Yeah, it's the association of other people that we don't like talked about this thing, therefore anybody else that talks about this thing is immediately attached to them. Just seems like a very lazy way to sort of smear people. It's lazy thinking.
It's gross. It's beyond lazy. It's not lazy. It's really cheap. It's like they're cheap insults. And it's also from academia, which is so disappointing. You know, I mean, academia has been so captured by this mind virus of leftism that it's so bizarre to watch the brightest minds and the people that we lean on for rational, reasonable thinking and an objective understanding of the world. We lean on the experts. And when they're calling someone a white supremacist for talking about an advanced society that lived in Africa.